let's get after it. Let's see Mr. Brittany stream. Alright, we're getting some lineups for today, which is sweet. We've got a PVZ and a TVP announced. Let us switch this over to say... what do I want? Train of thought, please. Well, we gotta update a few things, like this. Alright, so yeah, I'm just gonna do some housekeeping updates. Everybody to let everybody know this is going on. First I want to make sure my stream is actually streaming though. Let's get a little confirmation of that. Show me my face that it's working. Please. Oh? Are we not working yet? Or are we just being slow to load? I believe I'm on the right profile. Yeah, okay. Definitively working, so that's cool. Alright. Well, let's go ahead and get some updates going. And hype from the casters, from the commentators. How's my sound balance looking? Maybe a little bit powerful for the Koreans. Alright, let's get a link here. MPL English cast is live. Post. Okay. I guess we can list it on TL as well. Let's go. So many places to like announce that this is happening. It just takes time, people. It just takes time. Luckily, no game has started yet. It's a good thing to do to kill time in the meanwhile. Except for the commentators are freaking out. I keep thinking there's like major game moments happening. Getting paranoid as fuck. Alright, MPL. Put that shit up. Now let's go over to Reddit. And, Brood War. Great new post. Link. MPL. Semi-final. Day 1. Live now.
아니면 자기 팀을 에이스 결정적으로 이끈다든지 잃어버리면 진짜 완전 난리 나는 거 아니겠습니까?
If it doesn't load properly, manually type http what is it? // before the play.Africa part, then it will work. It sometimes defaults to HTTPS, which doesn't work and which generates a loading error. Alright, turn over here. Great post, link, Moo, ProLeague, semi-final, day 1, live now, link here, post. If it doesn't work, at http:// Alright, so that shit's over on Reddit. Let's come over here. MPL, Casting IPL semi-finals.
제가 되었습니다. 그래서 결론은 책임있는 담당자가 말씀드리겠습니다. 여기 일을 하셨습니다. AFP의 담당자로서 야 4달러라니 4달러가 연말에 4달러 그렇지 연말에 4달러가 연말에 딱 6달러 6달러 연말에 딱 맞게끔
God, the commentators just lose their minds.
지금도 저는 그 전자레인지 앞에 들을 때 저희 그 대기하고 있잖아요. 문과처럼 저렇게 대기하고 대기석이 없으니까.
Alright, and one last place, aka Twitter. Even though I only have like 28 people that follow me, because I don't really like Twitter. Fuck Twitter. You heard it here first. New ProLeague semi-final day 1 ENG cast live now. Alright. I think we like pimped our shit. Oh, I forgot to turn my TL stream off. Cool. Cool. Oh, now I killed the main TL stream. Alright. So that's cool. Let's give you guys this screen back while we hang out here. We seem to have kind of settled into these commentators. I also might go back and cast the finals. I don't know if it's worth it to cast the finals at Tyler Tour. I think live it would have been worth it. Alright, let's pull up some Africa chat on the phone. It's gonna get light out while I cast. I hate that. I really hate that, actually. Alright. I have to go do it from the internet. Like, it will not work if I try to do it from the phone app to bring up the chat. It will never tell me my stream is live. But if I come at it from the internet, it'll pull it up in the phone app, and it'll load it like it's live. Just tech things that I don't understand. New streamers rank 134. It actually sounds pretty high, but fuck if I know. Alright, view from app. Give me the chat. Give me the chat. Alright, we have the chat. But we need to kill the vault. Oh, I think we're actually starting. Sick. Good match, dude. Snow versus Shine. Let's do it. Alright, so we are going into set number 1, Snow versus Shine on Sniper Ridge. Of course, unfortunately, source quality will buffer, so we'll drop slightly there from source quality here. What? This is not, there we go. Alright, now we should get a smoother stream. As much as I would like that. Hopefully Africa, they're aware of it. They're working to fix it. Hopefully they'll fix it sometime reasonably soon, and we'll be able to watch streams in a nice high quality, nice high source quality. There we go. So we're going to see Snow's stats coming up on screen here. I mean, Snow honestly is an all-around strong Protoss. He is a PvT genius. He is a good PvP player with incredible Reaver control. And he is decent at PvZ, although, like most Protoss, definitely PvZ Snow's Achilles heel. And of course, Shine should need little introduction. One of these stronger players out there. Now, the only thing I did not have a chance to look at here that we'll look at in between games is, what is the format? Is it winner versus winner, or is it winner-loser versus winner-loser? Because it is a double elimination tournament, and there are some teams that have not lost at all yet. Wow, someone is shaking his camera around. That would be Shine. Shine is hyped. His camera's like shaking, he's like bouncing in his seat. It's like, I'm gonna win, I'm gonna win, I'm gonna win, I'm gonna kill you. So Snow is, or Shine is gonna open Overpool. That's pretty typical these days. Shut down any gate first and or Nexus blocking shenanigans. And Snow is going to go ahead and get that Forge up. So no gate expand from Snow, and he is going to scout correctly, so he'll be able to respond quickly to Shine at a cannon as needed. And the big challenge for this map, and one thing that makes it very, very nice for aggressive Zergs, is the power of the contain on this map. Oh, he gets it down. Because there is that large ridge right outside your base. And so you go and you grab 4, 5, 6, 8 lurkers, and you stick them on that ridge early, and they are incredibly hard to break because your Dragoons, your main busters of lurkers, are, well, they're shooting up high ground, and that halves their damage output. So they try to shoot up high ground, a bunch of lurkers, you run a few lings, a few hydras in, and they just get owned. So preventing Zerg from setting up a decent lurker contain is a huge deal on this map. And it's one of the reasons in Pro League we saw Zergs play aggressive or go for fast lurkers on this map quite often. Now, if you can get past that phase of the game, then we go into more of a standard macro game. Obviously, the ridges are still very campable by Zerg, but it's not such a difficult situation to deal with. And Shine just starts mining his gas, and third hatchery going down. Looks like Snow has his gateway up. I don't know if we have a core yet. No, we're just getting the pylon up. Maybe close to a core in the natural here, so he gets a little more money. And I'll be curious to see if Snow opens for a Reaver build. That does give a little bit more power against early lurkers, and if there was one Protoss player that has ever loved his Reavers, that is Snow. I mean, Snow just adores his Reavers, and he's damn good with them. So we've got third base up for Shine, and let's see how Snow wants to play this game. Give me an idea. We should have a Robo down somewhere, right? Yeah, we got a, or Cybercore, Robo. We've got a Cybercore down. Now, let's see if he's going to get a Robo, if he's going to get a Stargate. What is he going to do here? Layers on the way from Shine. Again, no surprises. Probably see the first part of the opening look standard, but it's Shine, so I mean, you don't know how he's going to play. Like, I mean, an aggressive lurker contain would fit Shine's MO just fine, but so would like 2-hatch lurker drop, or God knows 3-hatch lurker drop, 3-hatch hydra. So many possibilities. So the Stargate for Snow, that doesn't really tell us anything. We need to see what he does with his next bit of gas, and that gives us some idea of how he's going to play this game. I mean, if you're going to go for Reaver, you're going to get a Stargate. If you're going to play Standard, you're going to get a Stargate. You're pretty much always going to get a Stargate if you are a Korean Protoss. That's just the nature of the game these days. 2 Muta are just too damn powerful if you skip Stargate. You're too vulnerable. I mean, unless you're just doing one major early attack that you're just going to hinge everything on, but those can even be shut down reasonably well with Muta. So the Spire from Shine, that doesn't really tell us anything. We see that he hasn't taken a second gas, so probably not going to commit heavily to Muta, although we did just see a game, Eon Zerg versus DeWalt, where Muta were made off of that, although again, only 4-5. You know, that's that heavy commitment. There's just not enough gas off one gas to do it. Alright, no Robo. Alright, we see a Citadel, so we're not going to see any sort of like Ser or early Reaver type play from Snow. Just going to move into the standard kind of one gate into tech, mass Corsairs, get your Templar out, and get kind of a Zealot Templar ground army out on the field. Yeah, unsurprisingly, we see a pretty fast Hydra Den from Shine. Now with the Spire, so again, Shine pretty much tells us he's got the lair fast. He's not going to try to like Hydra bust. He's got his 5 hatches down, but he's going to go for lurkers, and he's going to go for an aggressive 2-base play. Try to win a decisive engagement against Snow and get that lurker contain on the top. And we'll see if that affects Snow's play. He might be a little less likely to cancel an Evo Chamber. That's interesting. Might be a little less likely to commit to an attack with Snow. because knowing that if he does on this map and Zerg counters and just gets that ridge, the game becomes very, very difficult. Hey, Bakaru. Hello, hello. I'm going to take it you finished Defiler Tour, or you're catching, maybe you're just catching a little bit of MPL in between games. I forget who you played after playing Cryoc there. Alright, so Snow is going to add 2 more gateways. Check that. Maybe 3? Maybe 3? Go up to 4 gates? Meanwhile, Shine just starting to pump out those Hydras. Is that an Evo chamber? No, that's a 6 hatch and a creep colony here. Alright, so 6 hatches for Shine. Oh, trying to catch the Corsair. Can he get it in the right spot? We can see, actually there's a few more Scourge flying around for Shine, and Snow is not going to try to chase those Scourge out. That's interesting. Oh, I did not expect to see that. Alright, well, he did have that second gas, but I did not expect Shine to go Muta, but he is going to go Muta, which means if he catches that Corsair, that becomes a huge deal, although Snow seems to be sensing this and is adding on a couple cannons in both bases, so playing very safe, although being out with that one Corsair is not necessarily good news for Snow. Oh, I guess he's timed this cannon to perfection. Let's see. But a surprise round, and the Muta are suddenly here, which Snow was not expecting, so the Templar immediately sniped, and that one Corsair is definitely going to go down, and now nothing here to protect the cannon, and it looks like Shine has hit one of those legendary timings. Are there enough Muta? No, but he can definitely stop cannons from going up, and it looks like he's going to pick off this last Corsair. Snow needs to run away. He throws down a Storm, but Shine is not paying attention, and it's a huge Storm taking down almost all of the Muta. Will that be enough for Snow to hold this? A very scary moment. He's still waiting on a Corsair. There's still more Scourge coming. If he can get an Archon morphed or something like that, he can probably hold this. Shine's probably not going to keep flooding in crazy numbers, but kind of trades out evenly. It was a scary situation, but then it turns into one where basically you traded 6 Muta for like 3 Corsairs trying to get it, but the Juki... Oh, wow. That almost looked like some amazing micro from Snow, and it was within inches of it, within seconds of it, milliseconds of it. But then the Scourge connected. YSC on third row. That's probably a tough game, especially against a solid Korean clan member. And I guess it's losers round, so you only get 1 game, if I recall from Defiler Tour formats. So now we're back to just seeing 1 Corsair pick off an Overlord and no Bermuda. So yeah, it's kind of like we just jumped back in time a little bit as we traded out those 6 or 7 Muta and some Scourge for, what, 4 or 5 Corsairs. And yeah, Snow's going to rebuild his Corsair fleet because it's PvZ and you really want to have that. And in the meantime, Shine is streaming down a lot of Hydra, and unfortunately for Snow, his slots are still slow. And that is pretty scary, especially if Shine's Lurker upgrade is anywhere near done. Oh, come on, Snow, come on, get that Corsair out. Alright, so pressure begins here. Oh, that's a decent Storm, but pretty good reaction from Snow. It is pro gamer play, so they're probably not going to AFK on a group of Hydras, especially this early on. Although, just as I say that, that one was a little slow to react, so softening of those Hydra really wants to take down the gateway for whatever reason. I'm just curious to see if Shine is indeed going to go for Lurkers behind that. Alright, so willing to throw down a 3rd Storm, so he has softened that up. And now there are suddenly a lot of Zealots here for Snow that we did not initially see. He's actually going all the way up to 8 gateways, which makes sense to play on this map. And he is going to be able to push Shine back from the ridge. And now we're just waiting to see where Shine's tech is, or is he just going to go Mass Hydra to fight against us? And right now it looks like Mass Hydra, but this is a lot of Zealots. Now 3 Storms have been used up, and these Hydra are nicely parked on the high ground. Not that it matters to the Zealots, but... for the moment, Snow is going to move back, probably regather, bring his Templar up. Actually, no, he doesn't have the Templar with his army. He's keeping his Templar safe at home, does not want to get those guys sniped. Again, leery that if he misuses his army, then Shine will just come down onto the ridge and give him the extra special Contain from Hell. A 9th gate? Oh no, he lost the gate. Okay. Dark Archon. Dark Archon. Interesting choice. I legitimately wonder if that's pre-Muta threat, like a, oh, you might Muta switch, I want to be ready for it, or what? Because otherwise I don't really see what he's going to do with a Dark Archon. So we've got 1 Templar in here, a lot of Zealots, a hell of a lot of Zealots, almost looking to be close in number to the Hydra. Oh my god, that is an amazing Storm though. Oof. Critical Storm here for Snow, and now there are more Zealots than Hydra, so Shine cannot take this fight right now. I mean, he can harass this group, he can be annoying, but he certainly can't commit until he's able to bring down some more reinforcements. Adding in a lot of lings with this, his gas is tripping a little bit higher, so say, there we go. We're trying to get lurkers on the ramp, and uh-oh. Uh-oh, we got some harass coming across the map, though, for Snow. And if you can slow Zerg's economy, that can definitely make it possible to deal with contains like this. So we got a DT coming in. Overlord is a little out of position, and there is action going down. This is the kind of situation where these DTs can come in and do a little bit of damage, but Shine is moving an Overlord at a pretty good time, and he's going to see it. Alright, so he's going to lose a few drones. The DT will do damage, but it's not going to do crazy damage. That appeared to be 4 drone kills. I mean, definitely a worthwhile investment, especially if the shuttle gets out alive. But if Shine cements this contain, this becomes a major problem for Snow. These contains are so hard to break. I don't recall... That is an assload of gateways. I mean, there's just no way to sugarcoat that. That is a metric ton of gateways to have on one base. There's, what, 9 or 10 gateways? Not really supportable. But look at the money for Snow. We can see he is floating a bit here. And all these lings from Shine coming out now. And this looks to be a very difficult situation here for Snow. Now, this is a good start if you can target fire down a few of these lurkers like this. But they're just going to back up to the ridges here and burrow. And now you have a bunch of lurkers on a ridge, and you have to be so efficient with this. And really, all Shine has to do is buy, what, a couple minutes till Hive? Looks like there's a Corsair or something harassing Shine. Our observer did not pan back to that to see what it was. Hopefully it wasn't like a shuttle harass or something there at the third base for Shine. I guess not. Probably not. And yeah, Shine just setting up there and gonna try to hold the ridge. And of course the problem is breaking those out. You gotta be really efficient, storm the lurker, get a Dragoon shot, because that 50% miss chance, oh my god, Shine could, oh Shine, you skillful Zerg player. Paying perfect attention to that minimap. We saw him turn that Hydra around. And the Scourge are coming back. Is there a Templar? Nope, just a few Zealots, so that should be handled pretty promptly in good order. Now these Zealots will still be annoying. Oh wow, whoa! Able to run by? Say what? Snow is going crazy mode on this and drilling these Zealots a little bit. Needs to bring back, what, a couple more lings? Nah, it's going to get picked off and taken care of. And he's trying to flank this. Whoa! That is an interesting tactic from Snow, trying to actually flank the lurker contain and sort of distract some of those spines. But now Snow's kind of pinned in here and is going to get at least a Templar snipe. He wants to get over here, I think, to get a third base. And if he can get that third base up, then he does get some staying power, but I think Shine can just kind of creep down from the high ground and cut him off from the ramp. It does still have a few Templar over there. Both are low health. But he has managed to sneak an army out here, and that's going to at least force Shine to re-burrow. So this is some really interesting moves from Snow, and I am absolutely loving it. It is crazy as shit, and I think it's hella risky, but it appears to be working right now, although it is a narrow ramp, and it looks like Shine has moved his army over here in time. Now, if it works and it lets Snow get a third base, that's pretty cool, because sometimes with a third base that's enough, but oh no, the Observer's getting picked off. So now the contain is going to hold. Uh-oh, that's not a good place for that Corsair to sit, though, let's be honest. Not the ideal place. I think that Corsair's just going to die. And now Snow has to wait for more obs and take some damage going down the ramp. So Shine is kind of split him off here. And this is usually not the way you break contains, but there are not lings on top of these lurkers, so he might be able to clear most of them. A little bit sloppy from Shine, and a lot of the lurkers here are following, doing a good job babysitting that obs. But Shine just doesn't have the units down here. Let's see how much streams in. Although almost all the Zealots are dead, so if a bunch of lings stream in right now, that will again clear this. And, oh, that's a lot of lurkers that just finished morphing. So I think there's enough. Well, there's a reinforcement here. Let's see. Lurkers burrowing, kind of away from the Zealots. Dragoons moving back. But that ridge is just so powerful. Good storms, though. I think there's enough here from Snow. The control has been very good. And every single lurker is going to fall. Shine's not going to be able to hold his contain here. And that means Shine is going back to defensive mode. Snow immediately going to set up this third. Oh, what? Well, that explains why that contain might have been held. The observers have not shown us that, but if there's been harass in the main that's done damage, that would explain why that contain fell, why there was a temporary pause in units, and despite Snow's control, he was able to break that. Now, there's a fourth base out from Shine right now. Let's notice that top right-hand location. So if Shine can hold on here, and that is definitely a big if. You know, there's a lot of times where Zergs lose contain. They've been putting all their units in, as Shine clearly has, and it's just not possible to get out enough units in time. And I don't see much in his natural. Are there any Sunkens? There's one, but there's not much in the way of SimCity, and there are no burrowed lurkers. It looks like Snow's counter here, or not even a counter, that's not the right word to describe this. Snow's army's going to do it, and GG. I would love to know how many drones Snow actually killed with that harass that they didn't show us, because, well, that can really change things. I mean, Snow's control had been good, and he did make some very nice moves, but I was genuinely surprised to see Snow break that contain, because Shine was doing it off good eco. He's in a good position. Oh yeah, player ceremony. Sorry. Now you've seen the player ceremony, showing off the Africa shirt. But yeah, I was genuinely surprised to see Snow break that. I really wish we had seen how many drones died in that attack. That would have been really informative to see how much that had to do with that contain getting broken. Unfortunately, we didn't get to see that. Alright, so now I wanted to go to Wikipedia and Brood War and ProLeague Season 2 and double check where we were at. Yeah, Shinhan was a 2-1 team. Oh, okay, so they are doing it that way. So they're doing a winner versus a loser. Unless it just doesn't matter in semifinals. And semifinals is straight semifinals. I thought the whole tournament was double elimination. Which would make it kind of weird. But let's see if we can figure that out. Let's find our answers. New Pro League Season 2 Fantasy League. No, that's almost what I want, but not quite. Oh, is it already on the next page? Yes, yes it is. Alright. Let's drill down on this and make certain we got a clear... Quarterfinal is dual. Okay, semifinal is the 3rd edition line. Okay. Okay. So quarterfinal was dual tournament. Okay, so never mind. It's not double elimination. I don't know where I got that from. So this is just, yeah. So today we're going to see one of either two things. We're either going to see the entirety of Africa versus Shinhan, and I really don't know. Or we're going to see, because it's now a best of 3 of best of 7s, maybe? It's either a best of 3 of best of 5s or best of 3 of best of 7s. Trying to see if someone knows definitively which way that is. Because we started with best of 7, and then we went to best of 5, and now I don't know if we're back to best of 7 or what. Let's see. Best of 2, yeah, best. I guess you could say best of 2. Yeah, okay, yeah. It's wrong to call it best of 3 of best of 7s, because if it's tied, it just goes to a single game ace match. So yeah, it's not a best of 3 of best of 7s, but it kind of is. It's in between. I just wanted to see if we actually went back to best of 7. If so, I don't know. I went back to best of 5. But either way, I don't know if we play like game 1 of Africa versus Shinhan, and then game 2 of Africa versus Shinhan, and decide that whole set, or if we set up the first games today, and then we play all the finals tomorrow. I'm not sure on that. But hey, we will be finding that out, won't we? We'll be finding that out. But thanks, Schluber, and hello, Tamia and Schluber again today. Willkommen. Welcome, as always. Thanks for being loyal Africa chatters. It's nice to always have a few people that are alive in chat for the audience. Especially between games. Gives me something to do, some people to talk to. Since I can't translate the Korean for you guys. I think it's this Africa Shinhan Best 7 #1 today, and then #2 tomorrow. And the 26th and 27th. Oh wait, we have 4 days of semifinals? Sometimes I swear I must look at this stuff and it just must not register on me. It's too early in the morning. I'm just gonna lean on that excuse like hell. Oh, it's time for our female match. All right. So, does anyone know what the pronunciation is? Is it anyone know how to pronounce it? Is it Sarah, Sierra, Darren? Oh, I know. I just don't know definitively what to call our orange player. In the top left-hand corner, as the red Terran, we have Darren, and in the bottom right-hand corner of the map, we have Sarah. I will, I guess, call her Sarah, and if I get awared by you guys or anybody else that knows for sure how it should be pronounced, then I will alter my pronunciation of the name. Sarah? Sarah? Yeah, okay. Like Sarah, like the English name. Yeah, he had some pretty good storms. He had some pretty good storms for sure in that previous game. Alright, so we have PVT here. Have these players, I feel like we've already played each other, to be honest. Maybe I'm thinking Agong. But there's definitely been a PVT with Darren. Like, Darren for sure has played a PVT. And she did win, but it was a little sketchy. She had a huge advantage, and the game ended up being a little closer than I think she would have liked. I mean, it was still a pretty good win, but for where she was at, it kind of slipped away from her. We can see her win rates are fantastic, a 72% overall win rate. She is 4-3 versus Sarah, and versus Protoss, she's got on this map, Fighting Spirit, she has a fantastic 78.5% win rate, so that is pretty powerful. Alright, so the barracks going down here for Darren, no surprises, what a shocker. A Protoss opening gate gas and a Terran opening with a barracks. I mean, you know, it doesn't get any more normal than that. And let's see, Schluber was saying, I think it's Africa Shinhan Best of 1. Oh, and #2 tomorrow. Okay, so you think it's played over the finals, the quarterfinals are played, or the semifinals are played over 4 days? I mean, that would I guess potentially make sense, but we can confirm that after this game. In the meantime, we can see a core is up, and let's see, looking at the supplies, is Sarah going to make a zealot? Maybe a 14 pylon here for Sarah. No zealot, I don't think. Yeah, no zealot, because supply didn't jump to 16, so we're just going to go probes. Interesting that Sarah cut probes to make that pylon rather than making it on 15. There's that depot to the right of the barracks to make a little place to micro against the zealot. The Marine slides through there beautifully, whereas the zealot is a little too thick to do that. And then a factory also starts for Darren, so pretty normal PVT openings here from both players so far. Lots of time for Sarah to deviate, lots of time for Darren to deviate, honestly. Although I think we'll see relatively normal play from Darren. I don't think we'll see a 2-fact, especially when she scouts that Sarah is cross-map. And a Marine Scout also going out here for Darren, but that will be recalled shortly. And so the SCV for Darren here, waltzing on in, taking a look at everything that's going on. Okay, we got one on gas, so that confirms 100% that Darren is just going to FD. And this SCV is going to get chased out here in short order. Gonna see nothing out of the ordinary. Actually, did we get a shot of the core? I don't know. Is the Marine well positioned? Oh, no, think that probe could have got in, but hey, it turns out great for Darren. Not that Protoss really expects to see anything too important. Terran's not usually going to show you second factor. Oh, okay, so I didn't think the core was spinning, and indeed, although actually I say that, and then the core is spinning right in front of my eyes. So we don't know if it's fake range. The fact that it's still spinning suggests that it's probably actual range, but you know, this is a slightly lower level of play, so it's possible something's just been forgotten. You know, who knows? So we're trying to block the ramp here with the probe. Dragoon is cross map right now. No, Dragoon is headed to the ramp. I think there's another Dragoon cross map. Either that or Sarah's got 2 probes on the ramp, which would be a bit odd. So we have a Citadel, and we have an Archive, so we are going to have DT. Now, I'd like to know if there's a Dragoon on the map, or if she actually just had 2... Okay, that is a Dragoon over there. That would make sense. Command Center started on the high ground for Darren. Is Darren going to Siege Expand? That's not something we see very often these days. Usually we see the FD with the 6 Marines, the tank, and the Vulture coming down. And if it's Siege Expand, that actually becomes much more scary for Darren in this situation, although she is going to have scan fast enough to deal with a DT, but if it ends up... Okay, well, she's coming down with the tank. But I was going to say, if she doesn't have the mines, then a DT slipping by becomes a huge issue. You've got mines in front of your base. DT can't really slip by. It's got to walk through the mines. I mean, you can do some risky things. You can sack some Dragoons. You can do some stuff like that to try to get it by. But no, we see the Vulture coming out, so it's not a Siege Expand. She just wanted to build the CC quickly in base. Didn't want to be aggressive with her tanks and her Marines push out at all because, well, Protoss is cross map, so it's not really going to do anything. And so now that command center coming down, I still don't know if I agree with the decision to build the command center in the main unless she's just doing it for safety. It's definitely not going to get you better economy than building the command center at the natural. That float time is pretty significant. And we see the scanners going down here. So she's going to have 2 scans, and she's going to have some mines. So she ought to be able to deal with the DTs, but it does depend. I mean, if the scan is a little off, or the micro isn't perfect, or Sarah controls really well, runs those DTs away, anticipates scans, those kind of things, it'll be fantastic. All right, so the Dragoon is trying to block some of these mines here, and Sarah is getting nice and defended up. I'm a little worried for her because there's no eBay. Now, of course, Sarah doesn't know that, so she can't just continue to stream DTs against this eBay-less Terran. Of course, Fast Arbiter behind this. That's no surprise whatsoever. Pylon walling this up because there are some Vultures out on the map. And oh, this DT isn't even going straight to the base, and it's just 1 DT. So yeah, this is not actually going to do any damage. I do like this decision, though. She saw that the Vultures were laying mines, so she's going around. But honestly, you have to give credit to Darren. These are really nicely laid mines. Look at how the barracks is. I mean, the DT just has to eat these mines. Oh, wow. Well, there's a scan, so this DT should be dealt with. Please scan. Please don't lose your tank. Oh, this is actually how shit starts to go down. So she's used 1 scan. Now there's 1 more scan left, so I don't think any shit's gonna go down. Darren would have to blunder pretty hard from here, but she needs to put on a scan. Well, there's 1 Marine. One of these tanks is really vulnerable. Now there's another scan. She has 2 scanners. I don't know what she's doing. Well, there's 1 tank. Or maybe she already used the other scan to look for what's going on. She's actually out of scan. Okay, she gets another one out. Should kill the DT. Yeah, alright. Still, DT for a tank and 3 Marines. Yeah, that DT was worth it. For sure. Got a little bit scary there, but fortunately for her, Sarah did not go full Protoss, as Terran players like to think of it, as a certain notable foreign caster named Artosis would think of it, as we all know how much he loves to play against Protoss. Yeah, but does not do that, so it's fine for Darren right now. And I suppose I can understand those frustrations, having played some Terran myself. Losing to just DTs when it's like the game hasn't started and there's not much you can do. You're just like, okay, I get it, whatever. Although, honestly, I have to give Artosis mad credit because, you know, when he plays against Toss, you can tell he hates playing against Toss, and it's a pain in the ass. But I really don't sense that bias much in his cast at all. Like, if he casted that way, the way he talks when he plays, it would be infuriating. But when he casts, like, it feels honest. It feels good. And that's something that's hard to do, because I've seen other players that clearly have a bias or a dislike of playing one race, and it comes out when they commentate, and you're just like, oh my god, please stop. Alright, so in the meantime, Darren is getting up her armory. She's getting a starport. Looks like that's probably a third base. It could be a floated eBay there. I can't actually see in this resolution perfectly. But given that there's already an armory... Although, no, we've seen Darren do weird stuff, though. Or is that Aegon? I might be confusing my Terrans. I've definitely seen at least one Terran that likes to... Yeah, I was going to say, I think it was Darren that likes to do all these factories off of an armory as well. Of course, in this case, the science facility, the starport, makes a degree of sense because Sarah's playing 2-base Arbiter. So Darren is going to play, well, I'm going to go 2-base and get my tech. So it's kind of like a baby version of regular PvT, for lack of a better way of describing it, that we're seeing right now. Normally you see PvT, TVP played off of 3 bases or 4 bases in the case of Protoss with all this tech. In this case, we're shrinking it down. We're getting all our same tech, but we're doing it off of 2 bases. Although this will be interesting for Darren because it's going to make her tank count very low. You know, there's just not enough gas. 2 bases, not enough gas to make tanks out of 2 factories and get vessels. So she will have a very low tank count, a very high vulture count. And now, Sarah, come back. All right, let's see how our micro is. Gets it right. That's... Commentators seemed a little bit more excited about that mine drag than I expected. I mean, it was nice micro, but that was perhaps overly enthusiastic. Alright, so dropship is out here. We've laid a lot of defensive mines here, which I do like. I especially love it if Darren is intending to push, because if Darren pushes with an Arbiter out this early, recall is absolutely a concern. So to defend that base for recall is great. Now, if she's sitting at home, having a bunch of mines, maybe not as critical. She can get her army back there, but still, if she has those mines and Protoss just recalls right on top of that, that can be just a game ender in a losing fashion for Protoss right away. And we see that dropship going out, sneaking around the map for Darren. Second armory finishes up, so she's on her way to upgrades. I hope she started a 3rd command center, because it's getting a bit late at this point. Supplies are pretty good for the moment, though. And now that dropship sneaking in around the back way. Nothing there to spot it. Oh, this Dragoon will eventually see it, but the dropship's definitely going to get in. And there's actually a lot of goons in the main, though. These vultures shouldn't do terrible, terrible damage, in the words of a famous StarCraft 2 developer. Alright, so we got a few mines laid. Yeah, those vultures actually did absolutely nothing. And the dropship might die. Okay, Sarah gets it. Alright, so that was really a flop for Darren. And as long as she stayed on 2 base, that actually starts to become a bit of a deal. You know, if she's on 3 base and she just made a dropship and the dropship didn't do anything, like, it's not great, but On 2 base, though, you know, she's kind of losing her options here. She's sitting on 2 base, and she's defending, but now Sarah's getting her 3rd base up. Sarah's got full tech. Darren's kind of just getting behind, and when you make a dropship and you throw away 4 vultures, that really weakens the power of any sort of 2-base push you're going to do. That's a decent investment, especially when you already have gotten tech for vessels and stuff. I mean, you're throwing away at least a tank, in addition to 4 vultures, all that kind of stuff. And I mean, Darren is just turtling crazy hard right now. And only just now starts her CC, and to me, somewhat inexplicably, starts her CC in the main. I feel like this is going to put Sarah in a great spot. I mean, Sarah doesn't have a crazy fast 3rd base, but as long as Sarah doesn't do a stupid recall here or anything, she's going to be sitting pretty, because Darren has really delayed her bases. I mean, honestly, well, she's going to move out. As I say, honestly, though, as much as she's defended here, it looks like what a really good, I don't even know if that makes sense, it's kind of oxymoronic, like what a like really Brood War experienced 1200 player would do or something like that. Just like super turtly, just camps on 2 base, but the actual way she set up her defense looks very good. You know, like a 1200 player would not lay mines and defend against recalls in this manner. They'd probably just build a bunch of turrets and have weird building placement and other kinds of stuff. But, you know, Darren has played super defensively, still has slow volts. That's a bit inexplicable, a bit unfortunate for her, especially since he was going for drop. What? Finally, a bunch of mines. Is the pylon wall done for Sarah? I see 3 pylon. Nope, it's not done. All right, so the cannons have to be canceled, and that base is going to be delayed for a bit. In the meantime, Sarah is going to move out on the map here. Now Darren, again, playing super defensively, so Sarah's not looking at anything, and Darren starts to float out that command center. But no tanks have been put over there. It's very weird that she turtled that long and still built the command center in base. Again, I think she's just really scared of recall. That's the kind of the vibe I'm getting of this game. Now, all credit to Darren. She's kept her macro actually pretty close to Sarah here. And Sarah hasn't expanded as aggressively as she could have, especially once she saw how Darren was playing. But again, she didn't really make like a crazy effort to see how defensively Darren was playing. You know, if I'm a Protoss and I see Terran sitting back, turtling like that hard in the main, I think, wow, this Terran is scared shitless of me. Let me just go expand all over the place. So Sarah doesn't have this crazy economic edge, and she doesn't have gateways up. This is a bit ballsy. All right, this better go really well for Sarah, or she's gonna just lose this game, I think. EMP on a few of these arbiters. Units coming across the bridge here. She does get down a stasis there. Remember, a lot of Darren's tanks are at the third base, and units are still being streamed in for Sarah. And for a Terran that is at 150 supply, Darren does not seem to have a lot of units. Sarah's trading pretty well here. Dragoons coming across the bridge, and most of the tanks have been cleaned up. She definitely needs to siege up these tanks here in the natural, and let's see how this trades out for Sierra. I mean, right now she's done a lot of damage with her army, and honestly, she could pull back right now, even happy in the damage she's done, but she wants to push this forward. She's got a lot of stasis on these Arbiter. That is a very unfortunate SCV transfer. It looks like this might be doing the damage that Sarah needs it to. Let's see if Sarah swings around to the third base. Honestly, that's probably the best decision right now. If she goes and disrupts the third base, this starts to become valuable. Picking off the vessel is wonderful. Now, we've got a nice SCV block there from Darren, which in hindsight means these SCVs being transferred over here might be worth it, but still enough stasis. So this is like the I'm just going to stasis all of your shit and fuck you up timing attack. And it looked a little crazy to my eye, but I have to admit, Sarah has judged it pretty well, and there's no doubt at this point this is doing damage, especially because Sarah has gotten her expansion up and running behind this. The only thing I would like to see here from Sarah now is a few more gateways being added sometime soon. Now, Darren is going to go back and clear this out, and she will get her third back up. She doesn't lose it, but she lost a lot of SCVs, and she's going to be starting to mine out her 2 bases here, whereas Darren is going to have at least 2 continuously mining bases, and will probably mine out her natural a bit slower than Sarah. Sarah will probably mine out her natural a bit slower than Darren will, because she got those bases up faster and was able to transfer probes away a bit quicker. So right now, still not great for Darren, but it's not like terrible. But in a second, it's about to get really bad for Darren because her economy is going to shut down. And I mean, Sarah is sitting in a very nice position. And I mean, if Sarah gets up here and denies this base again, oh, Darren, then things are going to look really good for Sarah. Now, she might not commit to it. It is pretty well defended, and the depot wall is getting up. But, yeah, barracks has to be rebuilt. I don't even know if she really has to do that. She's got quite a decent factory count. She's got her starport tech, her science facility tech. 5th base about to go up here for Sarah, a.k.a. Stargirl. Well, let's not eat all these mines. But Darren's sitting in a really rough spot now. That attack was pretty damn good from Sarah. And the reason it worked so well is because she basically stasis every damn tank. She was able to get zealots on the isolated tanks. Darren's army wasn't collected. She was caught a little bit pants down, and Sarah was able to get zealots right on top of the initial clump of tanks, and then stasis all the other tanks. And so it was basically Dragoons fighting zealots in the natural for a long period of time with nothing sieged on the high ground. And so it worked out great. And now Sarah has another large army. And here we go. Oh god, that's so rough. Oh my god, that's not at all what Darren wants. Although, Sarah's army's not collected, so Sarah's going to pull back. Oh man, if those zealots would have been ready to pounce, Sarah would have just eaten a group of like 8 tanks for free. Hey, Blindrar. Apparently you are a VIP. Holy shit, fancy. Does that mean you're a VIP to my stream because of the number of balloons you have donated, or does that mean you're some sort of other VIP? Alright, so Darren's going to try to push out. She's pretty low on supply, but she does have 2-2. Alright, let's see how the first engagement goes. Vessels are pulling back. Throws on an EMP, a nice EMP on the Arbiter. But look at this arc here from Protoss. Lots of Zealots getting straight into the fight. Although it looks like Darren is going to stabilize here, so Sarah needs to pull back right now, lest she throw this away. Although, actually, there's still some zealots alive. I guess she can keep pressing this, but wisely, she's going to back up. But she clears out most of Darren's army, and she has added a few gates to the adjacent main, and she is macroing quite hard behind this. So I would say Sarah should be fine here. That's not a lot of tanks, especially if she has another Arbiter or two and can land a Stasis. I mean, she can easily shut down those tanks. And remember, look at Darren's money, look at Darren's mineral situation, then think about the reinforcement difference between Darren and Sarah. Basically, all Sarah needs to do here is not overextend. She has the minerals, she has the reinforcements, Darren can't possibly keep up. Delay, 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 don't commit to an attack. Then roll over Darren after you hit that money stasis, after you remax, and it'll be just fine for Sierra. I mean, Darren absolutely has to push across here to this right base. I don't like this decision from Darren at all to go through the middle. I really think Darren should push to the top base and just try to take that out and aggressively expand there and try to hold the top two bases. If she could do that, she could get back into the game. Pushing towards this bottom base is cool. I guess she could push to the bottom and try to take bottom, take 9, take 7, take 8, whatever. But she can't kill bases of Sierra right now. Sarah's got too much economy. She's off one base. Like, she has to push and expand while pushing, or I think Darren will 100% lose this. I mean, Sarah's already maxed, so there's a good chance this push for Darren is just going to get run over. Okay, I don't know what this is. This is madness. No, you're not going to hold the center base. You're at like 140 supply. You don't have time to build depots. Protoss can recall you. That's a bit sloppy there from Sarah, though, to lose all of that. And Sarah is a bit caught off. So, okay, so Sarah's going to have to evacuate her bottom base. She's not going to cry too many tears over that right now, though, because she's got like 3 other bases mining. Her army can safely escort those probes away if they just transfer natural and then on up. One thing that's concerning, though, for Sarah is upgrades are pretty bad. I don't know about that stasis on the Vulture. That's going to make things a little complicated, but there's only a few Vultures left. Please split the Zealots just a little bit, and yep, there it is. The push runs out of steam, and that's basically about it for Darren. She actually has a lot of money, but again, she has one base, and she just lost all of her tanks. She is for sure not going to be able to save this stasis rally point unless Stargirl just completely fails to reinforce. And there's not even a science vessel here, so there's probably scans are gonna run out, and Dragoons are gonna start killing stuff underneath Vision. There's just enough army here to just clear all of this out, and that leaves Darren with one base and no mining. She didn't establish an expansion during that time. She went all the way to the bottom. I don't know. I'm gonna strongly disagree with the decision making that Darren did for this push. It was probably never gonna work from the start. But pushing all the way to the bottom for little gain just didn't make a lot of sense, and now Sarah is at an overwhelming advantage. Oh, well, she's going to run a few Dragoons maybe into mines here? Yeah, she's going to run a few Dragoons into mines, but she's at that kind of advantage where it's almost impossible to lose. Just about to the point where you could walk away from the keyboard for a couple minutes, come back, and still win the game. Forces the cancel on that command center, and there's just not enough army now for Sarah. She's 97 supplied, can't get out on the map, and Sarah is going to win this one here for Shinhan and square the series right back up. Oh, well. Well, you know, that happens. But hey, when you're this far ahead, you can almost afford to do that and just laugh at it and be like, yeah, YOLO, I'm that far ahead, I don't care. Alright, well, Vultures are going to come in here. DT is going to whack away. Of course, there will be scans. A few Dragoons coming out should clear those out of the way of that 5th base. Darren pretty much knows she's dead. She's a 2K Terran. She knows how these situations go, but, you know, it's Clan League. She's going to fight till the last. She's supposed to be the one from her team that wins. I mean, she is definitely the stronger of these two players, but not, honestly, I don't feel like you can fall. Honestly, I feel like Sarah played a pretty good game. You know, I mean, Darren's usually the better of the two, but I gotta like kind of tip my cap to Sarah, because I didn't see anything in her play that I was like, oh yeah, this was particularly bad. I mean, the execution in her attacks was good. Her macro up till max was excellent. It appears her macro remaxing was good, You know, I mean, she's got a bank right now, but she's been maxed for a while. What else do you expect? Oh, we're gonna hit a money stasis. No, we're not. Fake stasis. You know, I mean, I don't like the way Darren played the game. I feel like she turtled too long. Some stuff like that. And I don't feel like I can fault anything Sarah did. So, is it best of 5 or best of 7 tonight? I'm understanding it to be best of 7, but, well, we're going to find out. And my understanding is the semifinals are played out over 4 days. Oh, recall. Yeah, there's a lot of mines, though. Could dud. Could dud. Could dud. Let's see what happens. As Spile gonna die. Oh, Lord. Yeah, when I saw how spaced out that was, I was like, oh my god, this is for sure all gonna die to mines. The funny thing is, it literally probably doesn't matter. So Darren's gonna try to push and expand while doing it. She better go kill off that command center, because she has to get that command center. She can't just put... Oh. Okay. There's an ops there. That was beautiful. That was beautiful, but I don't think it matters. Sarah would have to suddenly throw away all her good play with some more blunders. Like that was a blunder, but she needs like 2 or 3 more consecutive blunders at a minimum to actually let Darren back into this game. I mean, she's literally just going to mac her up and A-move this army. So here we go again, especially if she hits a stasis. But I mean, I don't think she needs to hit a... Okay, yeah. I mean, what do you think's going to happen here? Look how much more protest there is behind all of this. It's just, yeah. You can't one base it. I mean, Darren's almost mined out her 3rd now, too. The fact that she's sitting on a K, though... This has been a pretty weak game from Darren. Honestly, I'm very unimpressed. She just spent her K, but now is not the time to sit on 1K. But Darren, it's time to type GG. It was time 2 minutes ago. You saw that recall wasn't even enough to change anything. I kind of like this decision by Sarah to just come around here and kill this tank. Hey, this guy subscribed to my YouTube. Cool. Oh, even left a few units here to clear all that out. Darren, you've got 90 supply. You've got 1 mining base. There we go. GG. Sarah takes a very solid win over Darren. You know, Tamiya, I can't recall if Jaehoon taught her how to recall. I can't recall. I don't know what to say. I can't. She's getting the chat love. Oh, got the little fist pump going on there. And a clap. She's clapping for herself. Actually, she's probably clapping for someone that gave her mad sick balloons. I mean, let's face it. Afreeca is all about getting those sweet, sweet balloons. That's what the Afreeca game is about. Oh, I need to bring up my chat again. It died. It went away. Alright. So we're square. 1 versus 1. 1 versus 1. Alright, now we're going to try to answer definitively the question of if there's 4 days of finals or not. I want answers. I assume you guys want answers. Let's see if we can get some goddamn answers. Look at the schedule. Okay, there are 4 days of semifinals, so I think we can very comfortably say that today is going to be 1 best of 7. And given the fact that it's just 1 set, I think we can conclude with like a 95% plus confidence interval that it's going to be a best of 7 today. So we're going to have 4 best of 7s. Now let's see, looking at team names. Actually, no, team names doesn't tell us anything. 1-1, 1-2. Actually, that is kind of hard to tell. Huh. So we obviously can see the 4 denoting that it's semifinals. But I don't know what the why the text is divided here and then also there. Like that could make it look like it's 2 matches, but it could just be necessary to describe things. But it looks like 1-1 and then it shows 1-2. I don't know what that is all supposed to, I honestly don't know. I honestly don't know. I guess I can't definitively answer your questions. Like, it would make sense that this is like round 1, round 2 for one set, like Shinhan versus Africa, and then this would be whoever else it is, Gamst and Knex. Like, so this would be like Shinhan set 1, Shinhan set 2, and then ace match if needed. And this is Gamp set 1, Gamp set 2, and then ace match if needed. But I can't figure out why it's 2-1, 2-2, 1-1, 1-2. I don't know. It's round of 4, first matchup, first best of 7. All right, let's see. What is Blinder saying? Potential third sets will be on the 28th. Oh, what? If the series goes 1-1, it's 3 best of 7s? That is not what I understand from this thread. All right. Here we go. So, semifinals, 3rd edition. If match score 1-1 will begin ace card match, and then ace card match is like Sharp versus Larva, like 1 set. Unless Sharp versus Larva, unless the ace match is they literally send out their 2 best players, and those 2 best players duke it out in a full best of 7. First semifinals, 3rd set would be on the 24th. Okay, I mean, I could see that. Blinder says, oh, sorry, though. I get it now. It's going to feed me. It's a super 8. Yeah. What? It's not a... Is it a best of 1? Like, that's what I want to know. And the other thing I guess I want to know is today, like, I see this 1, I see this 1. Is this... Do we have 2 best of 7s today or just 1 best of 7? And Super Ace match should only be, yes, if it's 1-1. Like, if it goes 2-0, it's just over. For sure. For sure it's over. Like... But do we have 1 best of 7 today or 2? Probably 1, because when we had 2, yeah, that makes sense, Sluber. 2 best of 7s today. Oh, is it really? Is it really? Well, if it is, that'll be interesting, and it'll be the longest day we've had in a while, because I felt like they switched to best of 5s to make it not too long. That's the only reason I can assume that like our matches through the round of 8, like we started with best of 7s, right? But there was only 1 per evening, and then we switched to best of 5s to like accommodate 2. So I'm kind of expecting it to only be 1 best of 7. But because like what I'm expecting, like the way I would expect it to work based on the way you guys have described is like today we play Shinhan versus Africa set 1. Tomorrow we play Shinhan versus Africa set 2. If I would assume here, let's say set 2, let's say Shinhan wins, let's say Africa wins, right? Then just immediately after, on the 23rd, we play the ace match. We play the super ace match, and we just decide Shinhan on this day. That's how I would think it would work. But yeah, 1 best of 7, that seems the most likely blind RAR. But I don't know if anyone knows Korean and actually like wants to go snoop around and get a definitive answer, but because you know that's the only reason I can explain switching to best of 5s, because now we're back to best of 7, and that makes me think it's just a time thing, right? Like it makes me think because we needed to play two best of 5s on the same day, we switched. Because otherwise it wouldn't make sense to have gone to best of 5s randomly after starting out with best of 7s. Alright, so I think we've mapped it out. I guess we won't know for sure until it ends. But yeah, teamwork, guys. Teamwork makes the dream work. We'll see if our team discussion was successful here. Commentator's getting hype. I think we're getting close to our next match. I don't know who it is, but hopefully it'll be good. Stretch out.
네, 그렇죠. 네, 바로 가보도록 하겠습니다. 자, 이영호와 권혁진 두 명의 선수가 경기 준비됐어 가겠습니다.
Oh, I think it's time. I feel like it's time. Commentators are like moving differently. Did I get the new GFX card yet? No, man. Not yet. I got a couple donations, but... Oh. Oh, shit. Oh, shit. I hope this is just hilariously dominant by Flash. Although, sad news, guys. There is some sad news. And that might explain some of what we've already seen already, because we saw Flash lose to Harangi, some stuff like that that was a little bit, less flashy than you'd expect. So in the top right-hand corner, as the red Protoss, the sacrificial lamb from Africa, we have Noble. And in the bottom right-hand corner, as the purple Terran, we have the best player ever to play StarCraft Brood War, Flash. Unfortunately, if you guys haven't heard the news, it's a bit sad, but Flash, he was having wrist trouble, I don't know, 5 or 6 years ago. I think he even had some surgery, some stuff like that, trying to work it out. But his wrist has started giving him trouble again, to the extent that it forced him to drop out of ASL 7 or ASL 6, whatever iteration of ASL we're on. I think it's ASL 7. So forced Flash to drop out of ASL, which is a bummer. Certainly, you hate to see the best player have those kind of struggles. And yeah, if Flash loses to Noble, it would be pretty bad. But I mean, we don't know. I mean, we don't know if Flash dropped out of ASL 7 as a preemptive measure because he wants to make sure it doesn't get worse, get on top of the treatment, take it easy, and not have to prepare hard, or if he had to drop out because it's like, no, I'm really hurting. And I mean, if he's really hurting and it's really affecting him, you never know. But certainly the APM he's spamming out now looks fine, but of course we don't know which wrist. I mean, if it's the mouse hand, that would not affect your ability to cycle your hotkeys over and over. So we see Noble opening up Gate Gas, and Flash is opening up, well, unsurprisingly, with a Barracks out here. Probably going to rack CC. That's pretty common here on these flat ramp maps. The way Flash is sitting, it looks like he's not even using one of his arms. It looks like he's just leaving it at his hip and like playing mouse only, but I don't think anybody can hit 500 APM mouse only. Noble has like an intense face, man. He's got those downward sloping eyebrows that make him look like a little bit angry, a little bit serious all the time, Alright, and it is going to be rack CC, 15 CC here from Flash. So then gas, double factory, bunker, all the fun stuff that goes with that. And we'll see how Noble chooses to react and pressure to this. And of course, this is the same map, guys, that Flash lost to Harangi on with a carrier build that Harangi did off of 2-base Reaver carrier, the Bump Special. For those of you familiar with our foreign scene, our non-Korean scene. For anyone that watches this in the context of StarCraft, foreign means non-Korean. So if you're watching this VOD later, haven't watched too much of this, and you're like, what does that mean? It means non-Korean. Is Flash going to do something weird? I think he's decided his SCV, but that would be kind of awesome if he made a proxy fact or some shit. Proxy fact off of rack CC. Let's put it this way, Noble would not expect it, but also Protoss's players just tend to build buildings, and the factors would come so late that it would get scattered. But it would still be kind of awesome. This is pimped by Flash, and a little bit sloppy by Noble to not double check for the scout and just assume that it left the base. This is going to be a glorious scout for Flash. It's actually going to be a really relaxing scout, though. He's going to be like, oh, you're not doing any shenanigans. I can just macro the fuck up, which is a really weird choice by Noble, in all honesty. I don't understand so far what he's doing. I mean, yeah, he can go some other tech paths, but, I mean, when you're this badly outclassed by another player, when the other player's 300 or 400 or 500 MMR better than you, I feel like you should just prepare a build. Well, he's going to get a Citadel. And Flash is just going to be a fucking god because it's what Flash... He doesn't even... He's going to keep the SCV hidden. Oh, this guy. Oh my god, poor Noble. Oh, wait, did you see it? No? Guess not. Flash like, oh, he doesn't know it's there. Now Flash is gonna leave. What? Alright, well, Noble sees it now. He sees the expansion. And he probably even saw that gateway building. So Flash is like, ha ha ha. Too good. Too good, this guy. Too good. And Noble, too bad. Combination of both things going on there. So Flash will be able to prepare nicely for DTs, and it does not look like there's going to be a DT drop. If it was a plan to be a DT drop, we can say Noble messed up his build horribly, because there will not be a shuttle in time for those DTs. So Flash can just get up a turret, get up a scanner. Life is peachy key, and things are looking pretty damn good for Flash right now. That's one of the beauty. Look at the supply difference already, too. That's pretty rough. Noble's obviously making a lot of cuts to be where he's at, because he did get his Nexus pretty fast. Flash looks like he has an eBay going down in Le Natural. And a little bit of bunker pressure here. Of course, Flash has that Academy, likes to get those scanners up nice and fast, which will be pretty excellent against the DT. Can he do that? Oh, that's pretty sexy. Gonna force those Dragoons away just a little bit from the bunker. Now, will Noble try to dance on top of this tank? I doubt it. Pretty easy for Flash to run away. And now it looks like Siege is done because he's moved that tank to a different spot. He's pulled SCVs from the bunker. Bingo. Siege. And then we'll have that turret coming down. Look at that SCV is just like right there. Like, I'm gonna make that turret. And Noble opting for the complete... Yep, that SCV was definitely there to build the turret. And Noble opting for the complete pylon wall right now. Just a little interesting because, well, Flash hasn't sent vultures out on the map. He's got Dragoons at the entrance, so don't feel like he needs to wall himself in. But he's opted to. Oh. Flash is leaving his tanks unsieged in case DTs run in. Fast Arbiter here for Noble, as would be expected off of a DT build. Oh no, just repositioning his siege position. Oh, okay. I see why he did that, and you guys now see too. He was positioning that because he was thinking that maybe Noble was going to try to do a run-in attack like that, you know, to use the Dragoons, run in, and desperately snipe the turret. Of course, Flash is so prepared for this that even if Noble desperately sniped the turret, it wouldn't matter. Actually, if there's an ass load of DTs like Noble appears to be going for, and I think Noble still might go for it, but look at Flash preparing for this. He's like, no, you don't even try to get near. You don't even try to come in this way. Don't try this. Don't try this. Oh, Noble is going to intercept this, though, and we'll kill at least one of these vultures. Now, this DT could pick off another one, and of course, Noble is pylon wall here, so these vultures aren't really a threat, although if Noble wanted a third base there, which seems like an incredibly greedy third going Arbiter behind this, he's not going to get it. I don't know if he intended to take a third. I mean, that would be the kind of thing to do, though. I mean, if you're going to do something crazy, take a crazy base, do some unexpected stuff, it's like, you know you're not going to beat Flash in a straight-up game. You gotta have... And you gotta prepare it, too, because, like, I don't know how Noble likes to play, but, I mean, if you're a player that likes to play relatively standard, and you're playing a player that's massively better than you, you can't really play your standard play against him, because he's gonna beat you there. But you can't just go do an all-in either if you mostly play standard, because you're not going to be practiced at it. You're not going to be good at it. It's not your usual style. So like you've got to play, you know, 20, 30, 50, 100 games of it and have something in mind to do. So we can see Flash sitting up just a little bit ahead in supply. You know, he's got what looks like 4 factories running. He's expanding to a third base faster than Noble. The Arbiter starts just now for Noble. It is a very fast Arbiter for sure. And so Flash is not gonna like punish this with any sort of attack here. He's just gonna macro up. And this time Flash does opt for a different third, different spawn positions. He took the top third with gas in the game against Harangue. Gonna kill this DT here. Okay. But this time, you know, doesn't want to expand closer to Protoss to set up some super close juicy recall. We can see the starport coming online, relatively fast science facility. They'll actually have a vessel, I believe, by the time the Arbiter has enough energy to do anything. The Arbiter should pop before a vessel is out for sure, but should have energy there and a vessel out to deal with the Arbiter. Cloaking and threat of recall if he can hit a good EMP. Now, he won't be able to cover all of his ground at first, but I expect we'll see Flash lay a few mines if he feels that recall is going to be the option here from Noble. The second armory, science facility on the way. And again, Flash just holding that subtle supply edge, which is a pretty comfortable place to sit as Terran. Hasn't actually sent any tanks over here to the third base, but he's walling it off a little bit on one side. And he's got the high ground choked off, so he's got it pretty well defended. Even though you don't see any tanks over there, it's looking alright for Flash. Noble's just upgrading, and I don't know. I don't know. I guess we're just gonna kind of have a standard game here, which will probably just result in Flash rolling the shit out of Noble. All right, so Flash gonna sit here and whoa, that pylon is it's shields. Shields take maximum damage. Oh, actually, oh never mind. Wow. Okay, I thought suddenly for a moment I thought Flash's vultures were Noble's dragoons. So Noble adds an extra pylon. Flash does kill a pylon though, so that's cool. And, oh, Flash! Oh my God, just trolling this guy. Look at this! Look at this! Oh my God, beautiful, beautiful. Protoss goo. A few more reinforcing dragoons. I don't think is Flash gonna fight this straight up. He almost has enough dragoons to fight this straight up. This is hilarious. Apparently when you have enough vultures and you're just better than your opponent, you just kill all his dragoons with your vultures and kill his third this way. Please let this third die. No, there's too many zealots. With enough dragoons in the mix that Flash can't actually fight all of this. Arbiter coming over to add cloaking. He's going to target fire down a few of those zealots. But honestly, that's some great trading by Flash. Look at the supply differences changing in this engagement. He's continuing. Actually, maybe he is just going to continue to attack this. Oh my God. Look at this guy. Look at this guy. Flash is totally fucking with this guy. This is just cruel. Poor Noble. Oh, that mine was a bit disappointing. That mine was a bit disappointing. Alright, so Flash is sitting way ahead. Noble can't even get his third up and mining, and Flash is just sending vultures, and Noble can't do anything about it. Look how many more vultures Flash is sending. I hope he just keeps attacking this with vultures, please. I hope Noble just dies to just, like, straight up fucking vultures. Alright, we're sending 4 more dragoons over. Probably this will finally stop these vultures in this tight of a choke, but I think Flash kind of wants this to happen now, so he's going to keep forcing it here, laying these mines. This is so horrible. Poor Noble. I mean, he's building pylons. He's trying to secure this, but he can't even secure it. He's saving for a recall over here. Oh man, look at this guy. Look at this guy. Sometimes you just watch Flash play and you're just like, holy fucking shit, this guy's good. Look at that preemptive EMP, and on all the army too. So Noble's probably finally gonna clear the third from Flash's constant vulture harass. Now Flash 20 supply ahead, just gonna grab a 4th base. EMP'd one of the 2 arbiters. We've had pylons die, we've had dragoons die. Hello, Averti, welcome. Alright, we have the other full energy arbiter coming down here. Let's see if Flash is ready to stop this other one. If he is, he's 100% earning his god moniker. Well, this recall might actually get in, but Flash is pretty on top of it, and actually Noble just gets scared and turns away. So Noble is horribly far behind. In fact, Flash is actually just going to push out on the map now. He's like, you're going to die now. He's like, I know you don't have enough shit. I'm just going to make you fight me. You can try and recall, but I'm ready for that shiz. We'll see if Flash left a vessel behind now, just in case the threat of counter recall. He's got this one sitting out in the center. He's got his push organized. He probably doesn't have 2-1. Well, he might. I actually want to see it. Yeah, I was going to say. I felt like 13 minutes was a bit fast for 2-1. 14, 15 minutes is usually the timing you see for 2-1. But, you know, it's Flash, so sometimes he hits timings that no one else in the world hits. Ooh, look at this Arbiter trying to go over to the 4th base. Noble's probably has some idea now that Flash is out on the map, although kind of judging where Noble's army is, he's kind of behaving like he doesn't have any idea, and Flash is just going to charge up here. Is this going to be a no siege? No, he's going to siege up, okay. Well, he's only going to siege up a couple tanks, and he's basically going to A-move this poor Protoss. Let's see, we're going to have a recall on the backside. Does it even matter? Does it even matter? Okay, those are actually some pretty good stasis, but it still doesn't. Still don't think it's gonna matter. Flash is too far ahead. Look at this huge reinforcement of vultures, and Flash is more or less just gonna A move. It would be pretty funny if Flash was not sitting in his chair right now. But yeah, well, Noble's dead. And that was about as dominant of a victory as it gets. Noble truly was a sacrificial lamb. I mean, honestly, this is good for Africa. I mean, you know, sure, the best thing would have been the ultimate of all miracles, Noble beating Flash. But, I mean, you know, this was a spanking for Noble. But it's about as good as you can go for Africa because they sacrificed their weakest player to take out to Shinhan's strongest player, so Flash doesn't get to beat anyone important. And Shinhan takes a 2-1 lead here in this best of 4. Flash is still playing. Oh, okay. Is he just gonna show off Shinhan's jacket, or is he just like whatever? He's just like whatever. Yeah, he's like, I don't really need to do any celebrations or anything like that. He's like, I got this. I got this. This is too easy. Oh, okay. He gave a little yell. Although those yells might be more for his supporters giving him balloons than anything. Hey, there's $250 for Flash. $250 to win that game. Not bad. Not bad. Alright, well that was very, very, very one-sided. My god. Yeah. I mean, we pretty much knew the game was going to be unimpressive. I didn't really like Noble's choice. Going for a relatively quick expansion with no obvious, really cool, like, all-in behind it. I don't know. But then again, I guess I don't think the players go into this knowing who they're going to play. So, you know, I don't think Noble was, like, specifically preparing for Flash. Because if they knew, like, why would Shinhan invest pair Flash against Noble, you know? Unless it was just how, I don't know. But I assume the matches are somewhat randomly generated on the day, other than knowing the female player is going to play the female player. But outside of that... So now we'll wait and see if Africa can square the match back up. We could be in for quite a few more games today, in all honesty. As we chill here in between and wait. Okay, good. My stream actually stayed up for once. That is nice. Defiler Tour is actually still raging, so if you guys want something to watch in between too, you can also tune into a little bit of Defiler Tour 85. A new era of macro has been... Oh, it's another Moads thread. Oh no, it's a revived Moads thread. Never mind. Moads threads are great. Oh, Moads made a new account? This is probably not going to last long. He made a new account to bump his own thread. But he's banned currently on a temp ban, so I think he's just going to get ban hammered completely now. But I guess we'll find out. If you guys don't know Moats, it's just kind of a TL thing. He's made some pretty legendary threads recently about Brood War strategy and stuff like that that have been very inspiring. In a very memeable sense. That kind of inspiring, rather than insightfully inspiring. Did we see? No, we didn't see who the players were going to be. I would like to know who our next set is so we could dissect that a little bit. But unfortunately, we don't have those answers. Izoi, perfect man. Let's see, who do we have left that could play, though? We have not seen Sharp. We saw Snow. We have not seen Jaehoon, who has honestly looked pretty good. So I think Sharp and Jaehoon are who we're going to see. I don't think we're going to see Saxry come out. That wouldn't make a whole hell of a lot of sense, since we have... Well, unless we go all the way down the line. I guess we could have quite a few more games. We could have 1, 2, 3 more. Yeah, then we'd see Saxry. But we'll probably see Sharp and Jaehoon next. And from Shinhan... yeah, I forgot. Shinhan looks so weak. We saw Shine, Flash, and Sarah. Letta has a good chance to win. I would say Sharp versus Letta would be ideal for Africa. But then we have Tyson, who, I don't know, even Saxry might beat Tyson. I would expect Sharp and Jaehoon to both roll Tyson. So that should be a win for Africa. So they should at least be able to get to 2-2 there. But then that leaves C, and C is a wild card, guys. I don't know where C's at with his play. I have not been watching his stream a whole lot because he's not really super serious these days. I don't know if he's playing a little bit extra to get ready for MPL or not, but he's a wild card. I mean, C on form, I would expect to beat Jaehoon. I would certainly expect him to beat Saxry. Sharp should probably beat C. Honestly, Sharp should probably beat anybody that is left for Shinhan. A good Protoss could be a problem for Sharp. A very good Zerg could be a problem, but I mean he's risen up in terms of Terran skill. He's actually become a strong, solid Terran player now. I mean, we saw him in the finals of KSL. Sulky did kind of rip him apart, but that happens. Sulky's pretty good. Sharp needs to get a little bit better to be ready to handle that caliber of Zerg. Are we getting ready for next game? Sometimes you can't tell. Sometimes you can. I think we are. Tyson. I don't know about that, man. Like, you're just not that strong of a Protoss. I still don't know how I feel about these StarCraft 2 icons. Alright, well, let's do it. Spawning in the bottom top right hand corner as the blue Protoss for Team Africa, we have Jaehoon, and I would expect him to be the one to win. And in the bottom left hand corner as the purple Protoss, we have Tyson. I expect Tyson or Jaehoon to win. He's looked honestly fairly good these days, and of course the secondary aspect of that is that. Oh, my train of thought just died. He's looked pretty good, and he's just, you know, the stronger of the two in general. And then, given how he's looked, I'd say Jaehoon's pretty heavily favored. And then you factor in the fact that Tyson's generally struggles with serious matches, nerves, and such things. Now, this is offline. No, online. Sorry, this is online, which kind of helps with nerves. It's not live. You're not in the studio with thousands of fans cheering. A little better for Tyson. And, of course, he has beaten Flash before, so there is that. But generally, Tyson struggles pretty hard with his nerves. He'll show good games on stream. Like, he's not an amazing Protoss, but he'll look, you know, reasonably good. And then you'll see him play, and it'll just be like, oh, well, Tyson kind of flopped. Tyson lost to this random Zerg amateur-esque player or whatever, you know. We're seeing his win rate here versus Protoss is at 43%. Not exactly that beautiful. Commentators seem very excited by a gateway and a gas. I'm not sure what they're seeing that I'm not seeing. Oh, holy shit! This is match point. Yeah, boy! I like this map. Took me a second to realize that we changed from our round of 8 maps. Yes, I'm pretty damn sure this is match point. I can't think of what other map it would be. Looks like match point. If it looks like match point and it smells like match point, it's probably match point. Okay, so core here for Jaehoon. Now we'll wait and see if we get slots from either player. So Tyson for the slot and Jaehoon for the slot as well. It seems to be what most Protoss are doing, and indeed a slot for Jaehoon. And the scouting probe coming in here for Hoon. And the light of day starting to appear in the sky for me. I'll probably have to change some settings here. Alright, so core is up for both players. Actually, wait, core was a lot faster for Jaehoon. That's interesting. And the zealots out from both. Are they both going to go harass? Or is Hoon going to stay back? Oh, Hoon is hiding a little probe. Hiding the probie. Going to sneak in a little bit later. Taking a page out of Flash's playbook here. And going for probe hides. Range, looks like, on the way for Tyson. That's just the pylon right there. And range on the way for Jaehoon as well. And out goes the scouting probe for Tyson, along with the Zealot. I don't know where the Zealot's going. Up north. Gonna bring a Dragoon across, or just leave the Dragoon at the ramp? Oh, he saw it. Oh, he saw it. Oh, sick. So close for Jaehoon, but in the end, we'll give Tyson some props for paying attention and picking up on that. Jaehoon sent his Zealot down to the bottom. I don't know why. I guess just looking for the probe, hoping to intercept it. I don't know if this is some very advanced scouting just now. I honestly don't have a good answer. Tyson getting the robotics facility up. 1 gate robo. Jaehoon is going to do the same? Yes, the same. So far both players are mirroring each other. Now the big deviation question from here is, what do we slap down? I mean, we could slap down 2 gateways and go 3 gate. We could slap down another gate and go Reaver timing. We could expand. Lots of deviations still possible here. We definitely can't say, oh, they're going to play mirror builds at this point in time. But the mineral's creeping up kind of high for Tyson, so I think there's a decent chance Tyson wants to go expand here. 300 minerals seems a little high to be having otherwise. Yeah, I think we're going to see an expansion here from Tyson. Bingo. Alright, so Jaehoon is going to be the aggressor in this game. Gonna micro down this Zealot, but 2 goons coming out here from Tyson to meet these goons from Jaehoon in the middle. And this kind of cuts Jaehoon off. He's going to have to take this weird sort of roundabout pathway to his base. Tyson will back off. Doesn't want to suddenly get walked on by a few Dragoons, especially when he's expanding. Okay, I said Jaehoon was going to play the role of aggressor, but Jaehoon's also banked up 400 minerals. So he's going to be expanding too. Just a little deviance in terms of the order of things coming out here. Give Tyson a subtle economic advantage. Jaehoon will have a little bit faster scouting, but nothing that's really going to influence the game. If you want to say Tyson's at a subtle advantage, you probably could, but if you're gonna call anything, it's very subtle. Tyson's gonna have like 150 extra minerals or something like that from his mining time. It's like 1 Dragoon advantage maybe. And the robo starts here for Jaehoon, so both players will have Reaver shuttles at timings that will match each other. It's not fast enough to negate travel distance. And the observer out for Jaehoon. Is that the observer out here for Tyson? Or is that a probe? It feels like an observer. Given the way it's pathing, it feels obsy. Okay. Obs kiss. Are they going to kiss? No, so close. Oh, ooh. Well, that means it's Tyson's going to turn his obs around. Obviously, if you tag an obs, you're going to run away. Alright, so now the obs take different paths, and now we'll see if Tyson makes a second ob. Probably not. Probably going to make a reaver, so probably both players are going to get to scout each other. Could see a double obs, be a little unusual. Especially because neither player has seen the other player yet. Like, if they knew that they both expanded, I think you might have seen, like, double obs. And I like how Jaehoon's posturing like he wants to snipe this observer. Trying to like psych Tyson out, but I mean Tyson actually, is Jaehoon gonna psych Tyson out? Yeah, I mean Tyson hasn't dived in with the observer. I guess feels like he's seen enough, or he's just too scared of those Dragoons that there's like an ops lurking back there that he doesn't actually want to go in. So if that's a fake by Jaehoon, that's a pretty dope fake, I'm not gonna lie. Now, because I don't think Jaehoon is legit worried about a shuttle yet, so I think he's literally trying to fake Tyson out so Tyson doesn't go all the way in and scout. And to date, it's worked. But Tyson has seen the mineral count, so you can click on the minerals, see how much Jaehoon's mined. Basically knows what's going on here from Jaehoon outside of the gate count. And now an obs comes out and actually is able to kill that obs off, so that's a little bit unfortunate. Tyson was trying to be safe, but he actually wasn't even in a position where he could be safe. Oh, I wasn't even thinking about the fact. Yeah, these guys were teammates back in the day, huh? So they've already played a lot of games against each other. A lot of games. Trying to get rid of Jaehoon's obs, but not quite able to do so is Tyson. And Jaehoon on his way up to 4 gateways, a few more pylons. And let's see, we got 2 Reavers out here, pretty almost dead even on supplies. Again, they played very similar builds. Now we've seen kind of the first real major difference in that Jaehoon has added a 4th gate, and Tyson has not. And is Jaehoon just going to come down and take a 3rd? Interesting. Oh, well, we're very excited about speed for the shuttle. It's Korean commentators giving me constant heart attacks. So the shuttle out here, I'm going to pick up those Reavers and send them across. A little bit of harass or some serious micro potential in fights. Can do some pretty fancy micro with a speed shuttle. This is a very odd force here from Jaehoon, though. That OBS goes down. Jaehoon did, I believe, see that shuttle with the 2 Reavers, and coming up here just to take a look for expansions. And Jaehoon also has speed, so we're going to have harass from Jaehoon, obviously, incoming. As Jaehoon is not going to attack with an army that is that small. But Tyson is more than ready. Jaehoon paying good attention to his minimap, though. Jaehoon is actually dropping his Reavers. I don't know why. Unless he just wants to make it a pain in the ass for Tyson to like come down his ramp. But Jaehoon has 4 gates, so I don't know where all of Jaehoon's army is. It's not all here. You can see that Tyson had a much bigger army in the natural. So I think Jaehoon's just kind of moving around, being threatening, but not actually committing to any sort of aggression. Part of Jaehoon's army is back at home defending against drop potential. Is that a pylon over there? I see that purple unit by Jaehoon's army there, just above his Reavers. Alright, so I guess he's going to try to crawl in here and maybe get a few shots off with the Reavers, but thinks better of it. Doesn't want to take the risk. Has his forge up now. I don't think Jaehoon had started upgrades, but we did see that Tyson's forge was spinning, and now quite a few gateways being added for Tyson. He's got his tech up. Yeah, Tyson's forge is indeed... Wait, does Tyson have 2 forges? Does he have a forge in his natural? Sometimes I hate not being the obs. Oh, shit. Jaehoon's going to go double shuttle. So 4 Reavers? Well, that will really be interesting. It's going to come down to how good does Tyson storm. Because if 4 Reavers get off... Oh, my God. That's some nice pylons, though. But holy moly. Is that ever a nice spot. All right, well, we're going for it. Maybe. He's trying. No, he knows. All right. Okay, he's just going to kill the pylon. Well, that's... Oh, 4 Zealots? 4 Zealots and 2 Reavers? Okay. Weird. And Jaehoon's going to send Tyson's going to send a DT over here to the bottom right-hand corner to look for an expansion, try to shut that down if it has not started yet, which we can see it has not started. Minerals trending north for Jaehoon. It's going to be close. Oh, he's going to not be able to get it. That is a very nice delay. So that's going to give Tyson a significantly faster 3rd base. It's going to take Jaehoon a long time to get a probe there. And we can see that, of course, that Tyson has already started his 3rd. Now, if Jaehoon commits to the bottom position, that will give Jaehoon access to 3 gas, which is a pretty nice advantage over whatever. And does he fly in here? I think it's an unwise decision. And we're going to be harassing in different places. All right, he's committing here. No, he's not committing. He's bitching out. And this shuttle is... Oh, it's got speed. High Templars drop. Storm goes down. Pretty good probe pull, though, there on that first one. Gets everything out of the way. And it looks like the shuttle's pretty well defended. Will he pick it off? Yeah, it's up. Oh, he's going to... Come on. Finish the shuttle. Then kill the Archon. Alright, so Jaehoon does put down his 3rd at the close base instead after getting that kill with the DT. So Tyson's harass doesn't really amount to anything. 4 probes for 2 High Templars is not really worth it. If anything, it's a slight negative, especially because the shuttle was lost too. Ecos are heavy enough at this point in the game that it's not a big deal. I mean, if you killed 4 probes when Protoss had 5, yeah, I'd say that harass would be worth it. But at this phase of the game, nah. Alright, Jaehoon's going to fly. Yeah, Tyson just doesn't want to remove those Dragoons. And now Tyson catching a little bit of Jaehoon's army out here in the middle of the map, picking off a few Zealots. And we can see that Jaehoon adding a few Archons to his composition. we haven't really gotten a shot of Tyson's composition lately. I mean, we can see a lot of zealots coming out of these gateways. Tyson really going up to a lot of gates. And again, look how even these supplies remain. Both players have macroed more or less perfectly. We can assume that not too many probes have been missed. Their supplies are just trending here. And I mean, we can see that too from the timer. This is pretty high supply for 12:45, teching the way they have, and sitting on 2 base for a long period of time. Gonna have another harass shell here from Tyson, and Jaehoon now has his entire army here. In goes the shuttle from Tyson. Obs is there to see that there's not much. Let's see. Probes start to run, trying to move Templar in position to snipe that. Now he's going to spin around back here to the natural, and this storm should do some... oh my god. Holy shit. That was an ass load of probes. Alright, Jaehoon suddenly needs this attack to go really well. He does get the Reavers of Tyson right away, but he's coming down the ramp. So on the one hand, that means he's fighting from the high ground, but on the other hand, he is very, very clumped for some juicy storms, and suddenly Jaehoon pulls back. But remember, Jaehoon just lost a ton of probes. Tyson has a ton of zealots around. Now these 2 Reavers here for Jaehoon are nice. He's going to fight on the high ground. I like this fight a little better from Jaehoon. I think this is a bit of a mistake from Tyson to continue to take this fight, because if Tyson defends, he's way ahead. If he loses the Nexus, it's still great for Jaehoon. Trying to storm on those Reavers. Good pickup there by Jaehoon. And that storm... oh, that storm almost works. Reavers dropped at the front. They're a bit vulnerable to snipe, but holy shit, those were some great scarabs. And the Reavers are still alive, but finally able to get enough storm to clear them. And with reinforcements, Jaehoon not reinforcing, this will be held. And, well, it's position A for Tyson right now. This army from Jaehoon is just kind of sitting there, and as soon as reinforcements... well, that's a big reinforcement. But, you know, it's down to 1 Reaver. It's been cleaned up. I did not expect Tyson to have quite that many storms. I think neither did Jaehoon, in all honesty. That Reaver's going to get cleaned up, and Jaehoon is forced back, but he's had a huge probe loss now. So his economy really hurting compared to Tyson's. The fact that that transfer ran into it, and Jaehoon missed that at the natural because he attacked, really hurt him. It was really good for Tyson. Now, we'll see. If the game just ends up going static for the next 2 minutes, Jaehoon can kind of reprobe, and it's not necessarily the end of the world. But Tyson is definitely going to get... nice snipe there from Jaehoon. Tyson's definitely going to get an economic advantage here, though. He's going to get that 4th base access before mining out, and especially that access to that 3rd gas. Those Templar are having a very difficult time mating to become an Archon. It has always been fascinating how Templar like mate, and then all of a sudden they turn into gaseous things. Like, that would be kind of weird if, like, you had sex with somebody and then you were both, like, a gas afterwards. That'd be... yeah, it's very different. I realize Protoss are aliens, but, you know, the mechanics of this are truly a mystery. Alright, so we can see Jaehoon is reprobing pretty hard. Supplies have narrowed a bit. But Tyson has this 4th base coming up and access to that 4th gas that Jaehoon does not yet have. And Jaehoon just kind of sitting his high ground. He's got an Obs. He will see that shuttle. Let's see how quickly he reacts. Oh, it's actually a Reaver. That's not a surprise. Alright, so a Reaver of Jaehoon's own comes back to defend. A very interesting harass by Tyson. I guess he just had the Reaver sitting around. I'm assuming he didn't just make a Reaver to harass with him when he could harass with High Templar. A DT out. Going to go to work on that Reaver. Oh, nice pickup, though, from Tyson. Gets out of the way of Jaehoon's Reaver shot just in time. So now that 3rd base, 4th base up and rolling here for Tyson. Jaehoon is still not moved to take that, so that's going to become a really good advantage for Tyson as this game drags on. And I'm starting to think there's a chance Tyson takes this. I mean, could always have a bad engagement. Now this time, do we have a High Templar? There we go. And, oh my god. Jaehoon is not dodging well at all this game. In fact, he is dodging very poorly. Not paying attention to his probes. He's kind of making a single probe pull and then not watching it. You really have to watch that and try to instantly split back to the base if you need. It's the only way you can dodge those storm drops. So, yeah, Tyson keeping the economy of Jaehoon pinned, and Jaehoon coming down on the low ground here. And Tyson's a little out of position, but he's moving back to the high ground, which is very smart. Forced Jaehoon to come fight him there. And, I mean, Jaehoon doesn't have a 4th base, so he kind of needs to. And Tyson continuing to harass, continuing to be obnoxious. Here we go. Now, Tyson's army is pretty clumped, and Jaehoon's army composition does look decent here, but Tyson should just generally have more units, although he actually doesn't appear to right now. But the harass from Tyson is very annoying as this continues. So Tyson is just moving back in defense position saying, I'm harassing the shit out of you, but there's a lot of Archons in there. Now we do have a few Archons. That's a pretty good reinforcement there. And that looks like it's going to give Tyson enough to more or less munch through this. Tyson is actually killing Jaehoon's third base as this happens. But look how many units Jaehoon does not have fighting here. If these Archons move up into the Reaver shots, this is actually very patient from Jaehoon, and he's basically trying to say, hey, what, you can harass me, but I'm going to control my army better and kill you in that sense. However, remember, there is a fourth base up top here, so even as Jaehoon kills this base, Jaehoon is losing his own, so it's 3 base versus 2. However, the question is, has Tyson lost too much army? Or can Jaehoon swing up to that top base and kill it? More harass going on, which is becoming a huge deal now. Jaehoon's economy is extremely limping. This is probably going to be enough to make it decisive for Tyson. I feel like he's pretty confidently ahead now. Even if Jaehoon shuts down this base, Jaehoon's lost so many probes that Tyson ought to be reinforcing better, ought to be able to get a few storms and have what he needs to clear this army. He is for sure going to lose this base. There's absolutely no way he can save it. So we're on 2 base low economy situation now, but Tyson has the superior macro ability given the number of probes that have died. And the shuttle is still alive. Still with a High Templar that can storm. And here we go. Throws down another storm. Like, Jaehoon is barely mining. I mean, it is an extremely infantile economy here for Jaehoon. Tyson should still have a decent number of his probes alive, which, judging from the supplies, certainly seems to be the case. And Jaehoon is just going to back out, and this is going to become a bit of a low eco harass war. Now Jaehoon wanting to get in on the harass game, but that is a beautiful cannon obs combination right there from Tyson. Chapeau to that. Oh, is Tyson going to try to take the fight to Jaehoon? No, going to back away from there. Doesn't want to get his army caught. So say if he could pinch off the army from Jaehoon, that could be great. Look how much gas Jaehoon is mining. He needs to put those probes back correctly. I think he's like afraid to mine with them. It's a little odd that he's not actually mining with them. Alright, there's the Templar, which I think is what Tyson wants to wait for. He should really have some storm, some splash in his army if he wants to engage this army from Jaehoon that has so many Archons and other gas units in it. I don't think you want to do that, Tyson. I don't think you want to do that. Although Tyson is retaking his third, so if he trades evenly, it's still fine for him. He's got a better economy. He can actually afford to trade evenly here. Jaehoon, oh, suddenly that army from Tyson looking much beefier. Yeah, and as long as he takes an even trade, it's great for Tyson. Like, his economy is better, and he's re-expanding to his third. So all Tyson needs here is an even fight. If he takes a decisive win, the game's just over. But even an even trade is great. Just needs to hit some storms on these Archons. I mean, his Zealots are fighting in a choke. He is throwing down those storms. But if those Archons melt, the rest of this army will go down. And it looks like Tyson's going to power through. GG from Jaehoon. Tyson gets... Is that his second win? Does Tyson have 2 wins? Is Tyson contributing to his team? Impressive. Chapeau to him. Admittedly, this has been some offline play. Or online? Offline play. No, fuck. Online play. I don't know why that confused me so much, but it sure does. So, nice work here as Tyson takes the win. A significant win for his team. Tyson the God. I don't know if we could quite call that a godly game. I mean, you know, there was more that we could have had out of the micro and the fights, but that gives Shinhan a 3-1 lead. So that's a big deal. Now Sharp is coming out to play, and Sharp ought to win at least one more for Afreeca. I mean, who's left? I guess Lita or C both could beat Sharp, but Sharp is a heavy favorite. And I have a feeling that Afreeca is not going to send out Saxry for the next match. Although I guess at some point they'll have to send out Saxry. But I imagine they'll send Sharp next. But I have a feeling if you send Saxry, Saxry dies to either Lita or C. Lita is returned to form rather quickly, in all honesty. I mean, he's looked solid. Round of 8, KSL, showing generally good games. So I was surprised. And I mean, Lita had great TVZ, Cespedes as well. And then, of course, C, you know, is out of practice, but Saxry's an amateur. C had probably top 5, maybe certainly top 10, maybe top 5 best TVZ all time. So even Rusty C ought to be a match for Saxry. So I think we'll see Sharp next. And with the match on the line, I can't think of why you wouldn't do that. And I am going to take a quick bathroom break. Be right back. Oh, they might save Sharp for the next game, because even if this game is won, yeah, it's true, but, and I guess any way you look at it, I mean, there is a valid point. Any way you look at it, actually, I guess in one sense, you could say that it makes the most sense to send Saxry, because either way, Saxry has to face Leader or C. Both are strong, right? I guess if you have some reason to think a particular player is going to come out at a different time, maybe, but I feel like both of them are going to be strong. And I guess as players, like, if Saxry is going to lose, you might as well just get out of the way and go home and sleep because it's like midnight. So in that sense, sending Saxry out makes sense to send him first because you're right. Sharp has to play somebody. But yeah, but I feel like the odds of Saxry winning are pretty long. You know, Tyson winning that game was a big deal. Had Jaehoon come through and won, that would have been really good for Afreeca. But now it looks pretty grim for that. Ah, they sent Sharp. All right, Sharp versus Lita. Sharp should win this. Absolutely needs to win this. But then Afreeca has the big issue of Saxry as their Achilles heel. I mean, I kind of expected they would send Sharp just because series is on the line. But I honestly, in some sense, I would have liked to have seen Saxry. But the fact that we got Lita is nice. Oh, hey, another sub, Entitled. Well, thanks. If you ever watch this cast, Entitled, thanks for sub. Nice, Ken, just send in Saxby. Tommy, I mean, well, no, should be midnight or a little past midnight Korean time. I mean, it's getting late there because they started an hour late. And we've been going now for 2 hours. Wow, these are some horrible win rates for Sharp. I don't know what they're showing, but they're not indicative of who Sharp is as a player. If you're seeing those win rates, those probably taken from Kespedes or something else, something old, because there's no way Sharp is a 40% TVTer. If anything, TVT is Sharp's specialty. And of course, we have Lita. She's not TVZ. We'll probably still see Wraiths because Leta, but, you know, we probably won't. It's TVT. You can sometimes see two-port Wraith. We probably won't see two-port Wraith, but we'll probably see Wraiths. It would be weird. Oh, it's only 11 Korean time? What? Okay. I guess it's not that late there. That's not too late in my opinion. After midnight starts to get late. After 2 gets very late. Wow, Sharp looks like just focused and like really professional with that nice sponsored logo jacket repping AfreecaTV. Hey, Zeldaran. Welcome. And if I didn't say hi, Tamiya, welcome as well. And the SCV scouting around here for Sharp, going to come into the base of Lita and see that Lita is taking a gas, as you would expect in TBT. Pretty normal stuff there. You guys see that? There's no barracks from Sharp. No barracks from Sharp. Sharp is going full economy. That is a 14cc, the maximum economic greed possible. And Leta is going through the middle of the map. Well, okay, maybe not. Barracks then starting for Sharp, and we'll see some gas here shortly. I would expect, like right now. Yep, there we go. Wait, did he take? Yeah, he took gas. Took gas. I just psyched myself out. Thought it was like a supply depot because that looked weird. So we'll see if Leta opts to apply some pressure against this. If he doesn't, he's going to be pretty far behind. He sees it now. He's like, oh, whoa, that is really a fast command center. Oh, snap. Zeldaran has joined the VIP club. Oh, that's what makes people VIPs. I thought that's what it was. What is VIP status? Is that like top few donors? Because like, you know, it can't be like 5 balloons can't be the threshold. Like, obviously it's cool, but like I can't imagine 5 balloons as the threshold. Like, can you imagine how many VIPs Flash would have if 5? It's got to be like, you got to be in a certain percentage or a certain number of donors. And let's tab back to the base of Leta. We got the factory. How many do we have on gas? Just 1? It looked like just 1 for Leta. Oh, what? Come on, Sharp. At least kill that SCV. Wait, was that your own? Oh, never mind. That was Sharp's own SCV. Don't kill your own SCV, Sharp. Don't take my advice. I'm a significantly worse player than you are. Do not take my advice. Bad idea. Well, we're gonna have a little bit of harass here as the bunker goes. Oh, Sharp takes a unnecessary hit, but the bunker is gonna get up. Now what? Okay, Lita's dropping command. So yeah, he only had 1 on gas, I think. So not gonna see anything crazy behind this. Just a vulture, perhaps. Definitely researching something in his factory. But the bunker is up here for Sharp, and the first factory is on the way. Attack of the sneezes. Might be one more. Wait, Africa is just any amount for... Oh, you're... Okay. Wow, okay. So there can just be like... basically anybody that donates is a VIP? Wow. So there's just loads of VIPs. So VIP is not like that special. Like, I thought VIP in the purple text was going to be like a thing that lets you stand out as like, you know, a top 5 or a top 10 donor or someone that makes it very easy to have preferential chat. But if it's just like anybody that's donated beyond like 1 or 5 balloons, that's interesting. No raids from Leda Zenosky, but you forgot an important qualifier at the end of that statement. Yet. Oh, he gets 2 vultures in. All right, well, the Marine goes down really fast, but the vultures are very weakened. Now, they're going to be able to kill a lot of SCVs until a vulture pops out. But when a vulture is out with decent hits, Sharp should be able to clear both of these pretty easily. But he is taking some damage right now, and Leta definitely needed this economic damage. Look at this little game now. Oh, it tanks out. Okay, that'll clear the vultures. But how many kills was that? Please, I wanted to see. It looked like 5 or 6 kills, though. That was a lot of kills. Honestly, probably just about enough to equalize the economic advantage that Sharp had. I mean, it'd be nice if we can see how many are mining, but that was 6 or 7 SCV kills. So game is now pretty even, and Leta has a bit of a tech advantage. So that went very well. Sharp is probably a little concerned about how this game is going now. And notice that Leta had a tank out. So if Sharp gets off, or if Leta gets off initial hits, Sharp could be in trouble even with his army that he has out on the map. And of course he's moving out. He's not going to sit in the naturalist TBT. The last thing you'd want to do is give up map position. Look at this. Leta has 3 vultures and a tank. If there's mines out, which it looks like there's about to be, a couple good mines can easily take out the 2 tanks that Leta has, especially with another tank in there to support. And I mean, looking at the supplies, it does seem to suggest that Leta got the better of that engagement. Just a few too many SCV kills there, and Sharp's advantage, like I said, gone gone with the wind, and Leda looking to set up a pretty aggressive forward position on the map. That is definitely on Sharp side of the map. And so in addition to that supply lead, if Leda starts to entrench that position, it's going to be a bit rough for Sharp. Looks like Sharp is focusing a little more on Goliath, although he might have just made a couple because, well, he's playing Leda, and you guys know what that means. Third factory coming up here for Sharp. And is Leda going to go on to Sharp side of the map? Not so far. He did lay some mines up there. Now he's moving back up on that side, picks off a vulture or two. And going to start attacking that barracks with a couple marines, forcing it back from Sharp. Not going to lose it for no reason. And still no siege out of Sharp yet. Wow, look at the supply advantage for Leda. I thought that was like 6 or 7 SCVs. I didn't think it was enough to put Leda this far ahead, but supply-wise, Leda is looking to be in an excellent position off of that. And Leda does now opt to set up that position, but look at the direction here that Sharp is taking. He's going to try to come at it from the most efficient side where he can kind of fight the tanks one by one. Leda's tank line is really set up for an attack from the other direction. And let's see that armory down. And Leda going to go up to 5 facts, so he's very ahead in fact count right now over what Sharp has. Sharp's third factory is just finishing. Yeah, now we can see Leda's repositioned his tanks. I got a sense of where Sharp was going, and now Sharp might pivot around the other way, but that's not really a fight Sharp wants to take either, because that's fighting low ground onto high ground, and we know how well that goes. But in every sense, Leda is in control of this game. He appears to be up there in tech. He certainly has more factories. His map position is better. He's got better upgrades. He's taking a faster third. I mean, Sharp is really going to have to show his TVT class here if he wants to win this game. I mean, there's probably no better matchup to try and come from behind than TVT, but it's a pretty big deficit. I mean, slow vultures, he's sneaking crazily around the map here, but I mean, Leda's ready for it. Leda's ready for it. He sniffed that out. He's got tanks sieged up there on the high ground, blocking passage over that bridge. And I'm curious to see how Sharp wants to do this. I mean, I don't think he's going to do anything magical. I think he's just going to need really, really good play. He's going to need to get a third, and then he's just going to need to be fantastically efficient and or quickly probe out some weak spots in Leda's gameplay here. And I mean, Sharp is getting that starport. Probably going to see some drops. That is pretty important for comebacks. Kind of hard to just do it with tank lines and outmaneuvering, particularly when you're this far down in supply and in entrenchment, or however you want to think of it. But Sharp, or Leda, looks like he's ready for this dropship, at least right now. So these first drops from Sharp are not going to do anything. Very, very minimal damage, if he were to even go for it. And you can see Sharp wants to expand, but there's a nice mine there from Leda. Leda has that command center already up. That is a huge difference in CC timing. Maybe Sharp could do some bombing and pick off a few tanks that way. I mean, if you could thin Leda's tank line, that would be great, since harassment at home does not seem to be a good option. But now Sharp is going to flow around the map with that dropship. And he has not opted to expand, so Leda is going to get so far ahead economically. And the dropship moving down here. Oh, Leda's tanks perfectly siege, cover every edge of that large ramp. And it looks like suddenly a large number of vultures are pulled back here for Leda. I don't know if he's just sensing that the dropship is probably out there. I know he saw it flying around near his army. He maybe saw it going that direction. He's thinking, well, I'm going to keep a little bit back here. I like the fact that Sharp is at least getting some mines over on this side of the map. And look at that. It's Leda. There's a Wraith. No shocker there. And this is going to be bad for Sharp, especially if these vultures head in the downward direction, in the negative Y direction. There's the interception. So they're going to run in here. They will kill the SCV making the command center, but Leda perfectly traps those vultures. And look at those guys just evaporate from the map. And Leda just comfortably sitting on this positional advantage and this 20 supply advantage that he's got. Still only on 5 factories. Money's starting to run a bit high, so we are going to see a few more factories coming down for Leda. Part of that is a gas issue. You don't always want to make crazy, crazy amounts of vultures. And I don't believe there's gas at that close third here on Grand Line. And that's going to be, what, 6 facts for Alita. And we've got, still looks like 5 for Sharp. That looks like double factories there. Of course, he's got the starport, he's got the armories. One armory at the very least that we've seen. And Letta is finally getting a third base up. Is that an SCV? That is an SCV transfer. So he's got his third base, but that is ages behind Letta's. And 2 dropships out for Sharp. Like I said, he's still looking for something. He needs something to go his way to swing this game because of the position that Letta has on the map right now. And how much faster Alita's base has been. Now we see 40 supply ahead for Alita. Of course, it is TVT. Just because you're 50 supply ahead, 40 supply ahead, sometimes even 80 supply ahead, doesn't necessarily mean you can actually make anything happen. It's just tank lines are powerful. You can have these attacks that look scary, but then they kind of just peter out right at the end. And Sharp is just going to set his tank line. Now, Sharp can pretty easily get access to 4 or 5 bases, 5 or 6 bases rather. It's going to be the fight over, I guess you could say, the 2 right-hand side bases. And that will give Sharp a big enough economy that he can max out, that he can have plenty of gas, he can make whatever composition he works with, and it will, if it goes on longer like that, it will take the game into more of a decision-making situation, where Sharp, if he is the better player and he's on point today, he can make up for that. We'll see if we can get anything done here with these 2 dropships, neatly avoiding that Wraith. That was good, but the turret does fire, which Leda will almost certainly hear in his ear, even if he doesn't see on the minimap. And so Sharp is going to go in here and siege up this cliff, which is annoying, but he doesn't have a ton of tanks in with that dropship. Oh, and he's going to sloppily lose maybe 1 dropship, and Leda is reinforcing his center position here, possibly looking for a center break. Scan goes down from Leda, looking to see if those reinforcements are all coming up. Nice concave here from Sharp. But I think Leda wants to go for a break because he's taking everything here in the center. Yeah, everything's on siege. All right, this is a pretty big moment for Sharp here. If Leda breaks through at any point here, this could basically end the game. But the arc is very strong, and if this goes badly for Leda, this could be the start of a Sharp comeback, and I don't know if there's going to be enough. Definitely needs to get some tanks drop back over here, but he is badly broken here on this side. Leda's opting to ignore the center and go straight for the natural. Tank setting up for Sharp. Look at this SCV pull. Sharp has relocated most of his tanks, but will it be enough? Huge mine going off. That is not what Sharp needed, but most of the tanks are getting cleared, and will this stall out from Leda here? It looks like it might, but that tank goes down, and certainly Leda gains position on the map, but at what cost? I don't know, doesn't matter. Sharp does hold on to his bases. He can still keep expanding within reason, but Leda's macro is in full swing. Actually, Sharp is getting on 4 bases, so Leda ought to be able to hold on to where he is, but he's kind of cut off, and Leda thinks about an attack there, but Sharp's tank line a bit too strong for right now. But the issue is that Sharp can't reinforce this. So if Leda breaks this and shuts down the 4th and 3rd base of Sharp, that might just be the exit of Sharp coming up here, and Leda just no-sieging over this. Only 5 tanks without the ability to reinforce, not that scary. Picking off the rest of these tanks, Sharp is going to try to get units over here, but he's got Leda's units here in the middle, kind of blocking things off, and now Leda is sieging up here in range of the 4th base, 3rd base, whatever you want to call it here, of Leda. And should pick off that 1 tank right there. Down it goes. Sharp does pull SCVs. Will he get that tank? Then he can kind of siege his way in there and shut down Sharp's mining, which will be the nail in the coffin, so to speak, especially given how far forward this map position is becoming now for Leda. There we go, unsieging. He is bringing those tanks forward, going to move them in range of the CC. Now, Sharp is bringing some drops over here to try to defend this. If Sharp could hold this base off and possibly expand as well behind it, he could still get back into the game, but it's becoming a big ask from Sharp now. Leda's position on the map is very strong. He is able to ferry a few tanks over. Nice dropship usage. That is a bit sloppy here by Leda. He's going to need to do more than that if he's going to break this. Going to need to run in there with the vultures, losing a few tanks here out of range. We can see that the +2 upgrade here is done for both players, so much harder to break positions now than it was earlier in the game. And Leda is very sloppily running in tanks here, and that's 10 supply that Leda kind of throws away. Economy is still pretty even for both players. Still a few tanks and Goliaths down at bottom left, annoying Leda from getting that expansion up. And Leda trying to creep forward here into Sharp's natural and choke it out completely. But fortunately, Sharp has these dropships to ferry defenses over, and it is a very nice usage of that. He's holding on to that base by a narrow margin. But hey, that economy is huge right now. But this has a lot of potential for Leda. That is a large drop. It appears that Lita has the dropship advantage. I believe Sharp has 3. That looked to be about 4. And of course, dropping on top of siege units is very powerful. They basically just die immediately. Looks like Leta's going to go over here and try to clear this out. He'll probably lose a dropship if the target firing is on point. But maybe not even a dropship. Good mine goes off, and that will clear those Goliaths pretty easily. Not even going to lose a dropship for that. Although, wait. Is there enough? Okay, there's just enough to clear this out. So Leta clears that out pretty efficiently, and that means Leta can start to take 5 and 6. And Sharp is going for a major break here, and he's judged this one pretty well. So Sharp does finally clear this out. That is very nice for him. That allows him to reinforce his army a little bit better. He's going to move forward pretty quickly here. He needs to get the sieges up on the low ground, trying to lay crazy mines. Does get one of the tanks. Most of the vultures are falling here, but Sharp is on the low ground, so he will have some misses here, and that is very powerful, especially with the 2-shot tank attacks. Does clear it out. And now needs to move on to the high ground quickly here, or else Sharp can just kind of bring units back and quickly clear that out with Sharp being on the low ground. And yep, not quick enough. So Lita's still going to mostly hold on to his position. The natural is free for Sharp again. Sharp is trying to take that 9 o'clock base. And is he going to come here and try to clear this out? Yes, he is. Here we go. Initial drops for Sharp actually aren't doing much at all. And nope, that's too many reinforcements. So Sharp is not going to be able to move forward on this position, unfortunately. He does get a tank or 2 out of that. But the whole bottom left-hand side of the map is going to Leta, and well, Sharp is not taking the top left-hand portion of the map for himself. So, yeah, the gas for Lita now is going to start to go through the roof as he gets gases numbers 5 and 6, or 4 and 5, rather. But we have a triple drop here from Lita, or from Sharp. I really want to confuse these players. I apologize for that. In the natural, but a bunch of units coming back here from Leta. Sharp trying to block reinforcements. Actually, a nice tank snipe there. He's laid a lot of mines. He will see those dropships if he hasn't. No, he's already aware of them a little bit because they cleared out his drop from earlier. And it looks like there's maybe still a tank left behind, but it looks like Leta has cleared most of Sharp's units out. But Sharp is finding an angle here with the vultures, and killing off all these SCVs would be nice. He diverts a few vultures to allow his bottom vultures to continue to attack the SCVs, but now that is a wrap for that. Will get cleaned out, and Sharp is not microing that, and he's going to charge right into the center here. Interesting decision-making from Sharp. Let's see if he gets up on the high ground before Leta gets tanks over there. Those mines could be very scary, but wow, good tank shots or lucky tank shots or whatever that is from Sharp, and he will, looks like, if he can get a few more vultures over here, and that is a big if, he will regain this center position, or some reinforcing Goliaths, that'll work too. So he will regain some center position, but he still has this issue of this tank wasteland here in the middle, but now he's got these tanks of Lita isolated, ought to be able to clear them. However, we're not seeing the 4 or 5 dropships of either player being utilized right now, which is kind of interesting. Despite having those dropships, they're actually just kind of A-moving siege lines rather than whatever, and it looks like... Oh, never mind. No. That is Leta's stuff at the top left. Leta is now getting his bottom left expansion. So that's about to be 5 gases. Oh, nice usage there. It looks like finally Sharp has gotten rid of most of... Sharp has gotten rid of most of Lita's stuff there at the top base. But it looks like Lita is setting up some decent tank lines in the center. But we can see that Sharp has gained some map position here. And he is going to clear out these tanks. And, I mean, all of a sudden, Sharp has center map position. You know, this is almost an even split. And that right base of Sharp, let's not forget, surprised it hasn't been dropped. It's certainly been seen. But it's doing wonders for Sharp. In all honesty. I mean, that is an access. He's got 4 gas. He's been basically able to match Lita's gas, and we can see Sharp inching his way back to the game. Back into the game. Back to the game. Sharp left his chair. He's inching his way back into his chair. All right, now Leta's decided to use his dropships, and he has quite a sizable dropship fleet, in all honesty. Oh, nice. That is going to catch some main ending SCVs. So very cute little play there from Sharp. And honestly, if Sharp takes now his left side of the map, things starting to look up for Sharp. And for the first time, Sharp is holding a supply advantage over Lita as well, having killed all those SCVs in transit. And this is the classic better player. I mean, look at the advantage Lita had at the beginning. We saw how significant that was. And now Sharp is right back into it, and now Sharp moving into the center. This is an interesting move by Sharp. A lot of tanks, although a little bit spaced back, but Letta is going to reinforce them with his dropships, so he will hold Sharp here, but Sharp gains, a couple inches on the map and trades relatively evenly. Sharp starts expanding to the first of his left-hand bases, but not the gas base, I don't believe. I actually, like I said, I can't remember 100% if those bottom bases from Grand Line have gas at them. I'm pretty damn sure they don't. Those close thirds. But looking nice from Sharp right now. Now, the one thing Letta has going for him is he's got a lot of extra gas still. He does have 5 gases to Sharp's 4. So possibly some sort of Wraith or air transition. And yeah, finally, this is a good drop from Lita. I'm honestly surprised this didn't come a lot earlier because now he's going to shut down that gas. So that's going to give him a 2 gas advantage. Quite a big difference here. In fact, because the gases are likely depleted in the main and natural, it's more like 1 gas to 3. So this is a hell of a gas advantage right now for Lita. So we're going to have another portion of the game that will be kind of tough for Sharp until he can establish his right-hand, left-hand expansions. But he has split the map evenly. And as long as he can hold on to ground right now and set up those expansions, it'll be fine. And honestly, if Sharp does that, he probably wins the game because he's just a very good TVD player. I mean, the fact that Sharp is even still in this game and has worked it back close to an even position is testament to how good he is. And there we go. Sharp is moving rapidly to double expand, knows the danger right now. He's working off 1 gas, whereas Letta should be working off of basically 3 gas. Letta should still have gas from his bottom base, and the 2 side bases, main and natural, should be mined out from both players from a gas perspective. Now, if they're still mining, then it's not nearly as bad for Sharp. But if they're not mining, it's a much more dangerous, shorter window here. Now, gases will be coming online here. We can see SCVs are being mainored, so that window is not going to last that much longer. And for the moment, Sharp is holding. Letta has not opted to go for anything yet. But notice Sharp doesn't have much to defend over at top left and top mid. So if Letta finds the weak point there, will Sharp be able to deal with it? I don't see an immediate way that Sharp can deal with it, and the dropships are making their way towards that side of the map. No rays to intercept. I mean, yeah, there's a lot of turrets, but there's no units over there. I mean, he's got a few dropships here that maybe if he can load up, but he's going to get these gases shut down, and that's a big deal. Sharp scans it. That's a pretty good scan timing, laying some mines. And wow, that is huge for Sharp, because that's going to let him get to those gases and start mining, and he can prepare a little bit of fence. Now, Lita still might drop, but anytime he's bought, the fact that he's been able to lay a few more mines is pretty useful. Yeah, those mines are going to go off, and will they kill? Oh, that is a huge mine! And SCV's on top of the tanks. He won't be able to get the 2 tanks in the back, but he's going to be able to shut this down in pretty short order once he brings a tank or 2 over. That is huge deal. Those mines that scan pivotal here for Sharp. This drop would have been devastating. Now it's just annoying. The gas doesn't die. He can get his SCVs right back. I mean, it still did a little bit. It's still keeping Sharp, 1 gas to, or 2 gas now. I guess he's mining the top gas. 2 gas to 3, but very valuable. And now a few dropships coming in here, going to clear an SCV or 2. Probably won't push any farther with this now that he knows that Lita sees it. I would kind of like to see a repair on a few of those dropships. I mean, supply is still very good for Letta, but Sharp is mining from all of his bases. And where is Letta headed with these dropships? Is this a drop to the main? Dropships are kind of on the right side of the map. I mean, 158 supply, especially as we move into more of a dropship versus dropship situation, the supply difference can be a deal because it means there's a few more units out on the map, a little more static defense, a little more positional units everywhere for Lita here. Now he sees the command center, or rather, command center sees the drop. Letta sees that the command center sees the drop. So Sharp was prepared for that. And Letta is now starting to add a bunch of turrets as those minerals accrue. Of course, TVT gas is the major resource. And, I mean, you got to give Sharp credit right now. He is playing a fantastic game. And I feel like if this game drags on a bit longer, I feel like we'll see a pretty high probability that Sharp takes it. And I mean, I mentioned earlier, if there's a matchup that is good to play from behind, TVT is the one where if you're a skilled player, you can do the most work from behind. You have the best chance of coming back in TVT compared to any other matchup, bar none. And Sharp, this has all the makings of a pretty damn good comeback by Sharp. And I mean, Sharp has a pretty sizable ship fleet of his own, which is really good. Oh, all right. So Letta surprisingly walks up to the side of the bridge there. I guess just saw, okay, well, I can walk my tanks up there and lose one and kill 3 or 4 of yours. So does so, takes a setup at that bridge. And you can see right now, neither player really wants to commit to a drop. They're kind of just walking their armies around the map, flying their dropships around the map, just zoning. And this is great for Sharp, because now Sharp's got equal bases to Letta. I mean, no one has taken either of the 3 or the 9 o'clocks, but they have now split the map, and a very even tank lane configuration. I mean, this is basically a dead even game. Oh, okay, Letta still doesn't want to commit. Nice scan, nice Goliath work here. And I mean, this is an even game. This is an even game at this point. Except for the fact, I guess you could say Letta does have an advantage because that bank is pretty huge. But banks aren't usually really the thing that decides TVTs unless we suddenly come down to an hour-long game where everything's mining out. Then the fact that there's extra minerals could be a big deal. But where both players are maxed and it's about decision-making, that bank isn't going to save you. Alright, it will allow you to do that, though. Although that is not Letta doing that. It's actually Sharp that is starting to add a few starports and think about some sort of Wraith or possibly Battlecruiser transition. I'm not sure I'd expect to see Battlecruisers this fast from Sharp. But, I mean, Sharp is on point this game, especially with these Star Sense, yes. 3 or 4 times now, critical scans in really nice places to see things coming in situations that could have been really bad. I mean, especially that drop. Had that drop been successful for Lita at bottom left, Lita would still be very far ahead. Instead, we're dead even. Well, I thought we were dead even, but well, actually, if both players are expanding, still keeping it kind of even. Looks like Sharp is unwilling to drop the 3 o'clock base for fear of a counter towards his top 2 bases. I'm assuming that's the only reason he doesn't want to drop that. Otherwise, it looks pretty vulnerable to a drop. And we see starports being for Lita as well. In fact, 3 more starports for Lita than for Sharp. And this has been kind of, if you think about this though, this has been a very static last 4 or 5 minutes. I mean, I think the extent of engagements we've had is let him move his tanks forward and snipe the bridge tank. Other than that, no player has wanted to make a move. Neither player comfortable enough in their position to throw something on the line. Both players just establishing bank and adding a boatload of starports. Whoa, what? Letta's science facility must have died. I mean, Letta has 2 or 3 maybe even attack upgrades for his tanks. So he's obviously had a science facility at some point. And Letta's going to start to slough off a bit of supply in SCV here. Move towards greater army supply, allow him to make a few critical units if he wants it. And just dead even split game right now. I mean, a huge bank from Letta, but in terms of gas bank, we can see it's very close for both players. They've mined similar amounts of gas now at this stage. Probably Sharp has been a little bit more efficient with his engagements, judging by the fact that he's come back and the fact that Letta has had his gases longer and that there's a little bit more of a bank here. I'm just kind of waiting to see when we'll make our next move right now. I mean, there's no clear weakness for either player. There's no clear way to say, oh yeah, he should definitely attack here, he should definitely attack there. So battlecruisers are going to be the choice here for Sharp. So he's going to start that BC move, and I mean he is on equal economy to Lita. Battlecruisers can be great if you're ahead on economy because they're just efficient and yeah, they trade pretty evenly. There's not really many ways to get the edge in BC versus BC fights. And they're obviously pretty efficient against a ground army late game. You know, you just Yamato things, snipe tanks, etc., etc. And Lita, again, threatening kind of with those dropships. It's like he kind of wants to go to the main and drop, but not really because, well, a lot of the production, honestly, is moving towards the top left. Is he going to go for it? Is he going to go for it? Okay, he's going for it. Is he going to commit? Yes, he is going to commit. All right, we have the first commitment. Oh, he just drops in the natural. That's a very odd drop. I guess he can kill the science facility, and I like this decision. Sharp moves right to the high ground, immediately drops a few tanks to siege up over there, brings a few back here from his natural. Needs to be careful. He's going to try to drop on top of this and walk in with the rest of his tanks. I don't know. Did this drop work for Sharp? Not really, and he's going to lose quite a few dropships for it. If he wanted to free up supply, that's not terrible, but I don't think he wanted to lose quite as much as he lost in this fight. And I think, honestly, both players might have wanted to free up supply, and clearly Sharp is making use of that freed up supply, transitioning into those battle cruisers immediately. Letta looks like he's going to be a little more Wraith-oriented, not a surprise from him, but just not as many control towers there. And wow, that science facility is still alive. Needs to repair that, though. Will he notice it? Ooh, I don't know if he is. He might suddenly find that he can't build battle cruisers, and that would be a bit frustrating. A bit of a mistake. Oh, it is for sure going to burn down. He's not going to notice it. Down to just 8 HP on that, and an attack going on in the middle of the map, so not going to notice that. And this, I think, is more about Sharp sloughing off supply than anything else, but he is going to move his tank line forward here, and wow, that worked so well from Sharp. I don't even understand sometimes how these TVT attacks work, because I don't play this matchup, how he just kind of half no-siege that, but then the drop from Letta will be cleared here and allow him to stall Sharp's progress, and I don't think Sharp will be able to advance that forward anymore. That bank from Lita, though, is pretty massive. In fact, it is interesting that Lita is banking that much. I wonder why he is banking so much. He obviously has the production to spend a lot of that money, but he is intentionally sitting on that bank. He spent about 1K of it, but has not spent more. All this, oh, okay, he wants to, I guess, having scanned battlecruisers, he wants to be a little more BC-oriented. And we'll see if Sharp has added that. Alright, he scans it. There's like 7 or 8 battlecruisers out now for Sharp. But I wanted to see if Sharp has re-added that physics lab, probably, because he's trying to build battle cruisers. He's in the middle of it. Should have noticed. Slightly better tank position in the center here for Sharp, but nothing that is decisive in terms of that right-hand base. But we're going to pretty much go to a late-game situation, honestly. Both players should be getting kind of close to mining out their bottom left and top lefts. And then we got some Yamatos picking off the Goliaths. So now the battlecruisers move in, start eating the tanks. That's going to force the tank line back here from Letta in a panic here as he deals with those battlecruisers. He's got to bring the dropships back. Do those dropships have Goliaths in them? I mean, a lot of Goliaths can easily take out isolated BCs. Now, BCs in range of tanks are quite well protected, but on their own, Goliaths do beat them pretty comfortably, much easier, in fact, than they do carriers. And yeah, just full mass BC production here from Sharp, trying to go for the drop, but he's got to have Goliaths in this if this is going to work. And are there enough Goliaths here? I don't know. He is going to clear the tanks, but he might lose the tanks of his own. I don't know how good of a trade this is here for Lita. How many tanks did Sharp keep alive? We don't know yet. Those Goliaths are fighting nicely. In fact, doing some very good micro, but it's just one Goliath. So is it really worth it? I don't know. The rest of the tanks are going to get cleared, and Lita reacting slowly with the dropships. But then again, he might not care about the supply. He might just want more supply open for his BCs. Obviously, the supply is way ahead for Sharp, but some of this is intentional for Lita as he's got this massive bank and just isn't spending it. Yeah, it looks like Letta has left a few more tanks. Letta has a tremendous number of battlecruisers. Sharp has a tremendous number of battlecruisers. Does Lita have the battlecruiser number to stop this? Sharp is going down to the bottom base. I mean, I guess at this point, late game, even a depleted gas is worth clearing out. It's not like a huge victory here for Sharp, but it is definitely worth something. And look at all those. That is just a boatload of BCs. Like, Letta has 7. Sharp has like twice the number of BCs. Like, that is really scary. The only annoying thing here for Sharp is that Sharp, I'm sure, would love to go kill the right-hand base. But if he leaves the right-hand base and attacks that, then he would be vulnerable at his left-hand base. So it looks like he wants to use his tanks and kind of gradually encroach in on what remains of Letta's position here. And the fact that he has a few tanks left over and Lita does not, well, I guess he's got 2, but those battlecruisers should be able to take care of those pretty easily. But these tanks can kind of leapfrog, help take down turrets. He's going to kill this CC off here, but there's no gas. This is really not worth anything to him. And yeah, he just kind of says, I thought he had a tank in there. I guess he does not. He has a few tanks over here, so he's holding a little bit of center position. And Letta just trying to pick off a few SCVs, get out on the map here. He's going to go harass the top base. Let's see, are there any tanks or vultures left over there to deny this harass? Clearing out a few mines is Lita. But, I mean, Sharp has just massed up a ton of battlecruisers. Letta should have massed up a few more now as well. But the map is nicely split here for Sharp. He's got much more control of the center. Starts to matter a little bit less with these BCs. Ah! The Vultures did find a window. Now, if you look at the banks, killing the mining SCVs, mining minerals, is it a big deal? No. But yeah, it's a nuisance. But it's not, at this stage of the game, it's not really that big of a deal. You know, if we were in some super late game situation where we were actually starting to run low on minerals, it would be a big deal. But, you know, most of the SCVs are still on gas. You can easily pop out 1 or 2 more SCVs and stay on top of that gas mining. Looks like Sharp is still way down, though, in battlecruiser numbers. Or Lita is still way down. Sharp has almost 2 control groups. Lita seems to have not much more than 1 control group, in all honesty. I mean, if they're showing us right, that's about 14 or 15. Whereas it looked closer to 2 control groups. Yeah, they're trying to select us. Maybe those numbers are more even than I thought. Sloughing off more supply in SCVs. In fact, in all honesty, yeah, that probably just freed up more supply for Sharp to make battlecruisers. You need a little less mining at this stage of the game, and it can be all about numbers. Look at this little escorting SCVs here from Sharp. And alright, Sharp is going to attack here at the right-hand side. For sure it's going to die, but Lita is coming across the map. He's going to pick off a few tanks for free, which is cool. But look at where Lita is. Lita can't afford to counter, so Sharp for sure gets the better of this engagement because he kills the CC, he kills the gas mining, and he doesn't like have to fight any engagement. And as long as Sharp turns around now and comes back to defend, like this is a nice win for Sharp. He's now at a significant gas advantage. And Lita's battlecruisers are working over to the left side, and as long as Sharp doesn't also lose his left base being too far out of position, that was great maneuvering by him. And of course, remember, BCs are slow, so if you get caught out of position, you do get punished for it. Of course, with this vision here, he shouldn't really be getting caught with his pants down. Leta continuing to sneak around and harass SCVs. And Sharp is going to add a few Goliaths back to his force. He's not going to go all in on battlecruisers. Now, those Vultures are continuing to be annoying for Lita. And at this point, they're actually picking off SCVs mining gas, which is definitely a bit annoying. But, you know, Sharp has cranked out a few more Goliaths here to help deal with that ground threat. And there's the Vessel. Vessels are very, very valuable in late-game battlecruiser fights because if you can hit some EMPs and kill that Yamato energy, that is huge. You know, if the other person can get 8 or 7 or 8 Yamatos off and you can't get any, oh my, I mean, it just decides to fight. It just decides to fight. So the fact that Lita has these 2 science vessels in here is a bit scary, and EMPing science vessels is absolutely worth it. Yeah, let's see our ship upgrades. We got 2 armor, obviously. If there's an armor differential, that would be significant. But this extra gas now for Sharp is really nice. Now, it doesn't matter a ton right now, and actually the fact that Sharp is taking this should really concern Lita. I mean, I think that's more or less going to force Lita to stand. That's basically Sharp saying, hey, come to me. You got to do something about this. This is my base, otherwise you got to do something. Is Lita going to slough off even more SCVs? Looks like he's transferring SCVs into the tank line. Yeah, Lita's going to slough off even more SCVs, basically saying, hey, I'm going to have the decisive engagement here. I'm going to have this big army. I'm going to win this fight. I'm going to crush you, and then I'm just going to walk over everything you have because I won this fight decisively. Now, Sharp is... I feel like he's definitely down in battlecruisers at this point, but he has built a lot of turrets in the center. He has built some Goliaths, so he's relying on sort of all of that to fight Lita's battlecruisers here. Again, it's difficult to assess the numbers, but it looks to be just shy of 2 control groups for Lita from what our obs are showing us. There's a try to select out what's in there. I don't know how perfectly they're selecting, but that is a big army. Like, supply in terms of SCVs, I feel like Sharp has more supply tied up in SCVs, so I think Lita's getting ready to force this engagement now. And I mean, he kind of has to, because, you know, Sharp is 2 bases up. He can't just let Sharp mine all of this. Otherwise, Sharp can just play a super turtly late game and win with pure efficiency. So some initial shots go down on battlecruisers. Oh, good Yamatos there from Sharp. Definitely a good start for him. Able to clone out a couple of those and kill that. And we see a vessel coming down for Sharp with a clutch D-Matrix. And a few Goliaths wandering the wrong way here for Lita. And now Sharp with the battlecruisers. Alright, that tank will eventually fall. Is he going to put another D-Matrix down? He's going to try to repair. Too late on the repair. A little too much Sheets tank damage there. So now Sharp has control of the right side. Is not taking the gas on the right side. But the minerals and everything available to Sharp much greater than the minerals available to Lita. So late game situation is quite nice for Sharp. We can see Sharp has not remade too many SCVs, and I'm guessing a part of that is in response to the fact that Lita has sent so many SCVs in to die. Yeah, that vessel was looking for that money battlecruiser EMP, but does not find it. Battlecruisers are hidden well behind the lines. And another nice scan. EMP trade on vessels? Oh! Wow, Sharp with a nice scan. Actually had a battlecruiser targeted with that EMP. Now he doesn't hit the big stack, but hey, that's three more battlecruisers. It's going to be a long time before they can Yamato. And I mean, you know, if you get BC versus BC, it comes out to a lot of Yamato cloning real fast and see who can take the fight, who can clone the best. Gas bank is massive for Sharp. Oh, some initial Yamatos on the tanks, but counter Yamatos by Aletta on those battlecruisers, and a nice control of those Goliaths here. Very static situation as we continue to play this out. I feel like it's good for Sharp. I mean, you know, Letta is not really reacting to this base on the right, which is interesting. And Letta gets a clone off. And will there be counter Yamatos? It looks like Sharp is thinking about it, gets one, but unable to get the kill on the cruiser. SCV is being kept around to help repair these. He moves forward, trying to get another Yamato. It's going to go off. Oh, he gets a tank, just a tank. Okay, that's good. You can pick off tanks with Yamato for sure. Uh-oh. This is EMPable too if there's a vessel here. Moves too forward, only a Goliath though. So just these trading of Yamato like mad. And I mean, this is late game TVT. This could go on for 15, 20, 30 minutes. It's just this little battle in the center, just being so cautious, nobody wanting to commit to anything unfavorable. And more or less mined out for Lita. So in terms of minerals, what you see is what you get. Sharp has quite a few more minerals to mine. Lita is going to slough off what remains of his SCVs because, well, there's nothing left on the map for him to mine. And those SCVs go right down. So definitely going to be more money in the bank for Sharp. Now, I'm not sure exactly how many minerals are left, but it's definitely more money for Sharp, without a doubt, that he can eventually mine and use. So Letta needs a decisive win. Now, how long it's going to take before we get to that decisive win or not for Lita, I don't know. Quite a while, potentially. That is a very good EMP, though. That's a third of the cluster. We're moving forward here. Oh, EMP. Does it stop Yamato? No, it does not stop Cute Yamato. Okay, so another tank down. Those SCVs. They've got nothing to do. Probably going to start attacking a building, in all honesty. Just force Sharp to kill him. He's like, otherwise your building's going to die. Oh man, what a battle we have here in the center. We're already at 45 minutes, and we could go for quite a while longer yet. Sharp's just going to use his SCVs to kill him. He's not really in a hurry to mine his minerals. He's got enough to remax. There's no need to be, like, to mine them out. Holy shit! Oh, that was a little overkill, though. That was actually not that great in the short term. In the long term, it's fine. You can burn as many Yamato. Oh, wow, this is so aggressive! But he doesn't get to the money part of the cluster. So only gets a couple BCs Yamato'd. And the battle here. Oh, another tank, but he might lose a battlecruiser or two for that. Whoa, that was like a lot of EMPs on that battlecruiser. But then he Yamatos it. I guess it's better to kill it, but the EMP is kind of going to waste. So either player wanting to make a move. We're seeing Sharp's minerals and gas soar above Lita's, which we knew was going to happen because there's just a lot more access to Sharp. Like I said, as long as there's not a blunder, this will be Sharp's game. But hey, you can always blunder. It can always happen. Just, I mean, in the end, though, Sharp is going to have enough money to make an extra, at least control group, maybe more battlecruisers. So, I mean, really, like I said, barring massive blunders, this should go to Sharp in the end. He clears out all the tanks. No. Lita still has production, so this can go on for quite some time. But Sharp can now move forward because there are no tanks here. There are mines, but there are no tanks. There are vessels to see those mines. And so he is going to try to push Lita back. Perhaps force an engagement. Are we going to have it? Are we going to have the big fight? Are we going to have the forced engagement? Are we ready yet? No, it doesn't seem we quite are, but we have a lot of Goliaths getting off free shots on the battlecruisers, but then again, a few Yamatos are going down, and a few Goliaths are coming up here from Leda, and we have not moved the tanks forward, or Sharp rather has not moved the tanks forward to cover that ramp yet, and so the Goliaths were able to link up, reinforce, get some shots off. That trade reasonably even for both players. Supply slightly higher for Sharp. Interesting that Leda is keeping a few supply in his back pocket, avoiding Max. But I still don't know why Leda doesn't go over, maybe attack the 3 o'clock. Like, I honestly don't know what Leda has to lose by attacking the 3 o'clock. Because nothing is mining, so no map position is particularly more valuable than the other. I guess the reason Leda doesn't do that is his tanks and factories are at the right, and his starports are at the left, so he wants the ability to link those forces up, and if he goes and kills one of Sharp's bases, which he could go kill the top left base, then Sharp can siege in the middle and cut off reinforcements. That would be my best guess as to why Leda is staying here and continuing to let Sharp mine. Is it the best decision? Well, I am not a TVT expert. My MMR and TVT would probably be less than 1500, so I don't know. My guess is as good as anyone's. That is a 1500 level player. We need Flash in the chat. Flash, explain to us Leda's decision making here. Or maybe Flash would just shrug and say, I can't explain that. Oh, Vessel snipe potential. Oh, okay. Vessel goes down. Like I said, I have no idea what these players are looking for when they want to take an engagement. Now, I feel like all of a sudden Leda's like back here. So, I mean, the movement makes me feel like over a very slow length of time, Sharp has pinned Leda back and is kind of gaining some sort of upper hand. But I don't know. I really don't know. I mean, it's obvious that Sharp has a lot more money to work with, and by the end of this is going to have a hell of a lot more money to work with. So, I mean, Leda's going to need some kind of crazy win here, and Sharp's army honestly looks scary as fuck. I mean, he's chased Leda away, and now Leda's sort of on the opposite side of the map from his starports. I don't know if that's going to matter. Sharp's going to send one tank down there. He's going to spread his tanks out. So Sharp gets complete control of the high ground. He does eventually gain this cutting out of Leda's forces that he wanted. And he's going to clear the rest of those Goliaths, so that's nice for Sharp. Little more inefficient spending. I mean, it's just more money wasted for Leda, who has, what, battlecruisers are, I think, 400, 300. So Leda gets another, what, 6 battlecruisers? No, more than 6, right? 6, 12, 8. No, I get it right. 6 battlecruisers or so. That's not very much. Sharp gets another 12 plus. 15. Probably 18 by the time it's done. When you look at it that way, looks pretty bad for, like I said, Leda needs a very decisive win. Is Leda going to go for it? No, not yet. He loses 2 sloppily, though. Oh, well, just one. Yamato trade? Yeah, nice. Good chasing here. Is this engagement actually going to go? Are we actually moving in far enough to commit to a fight? Is this going to be our big battle or not? No, and not the moment. Sharp's going to back up onto the high ground, get all those Goliaths shooting, trying to bait Leda in, and then walk forward to pick off a few more battlecruisers, continuing to spend Leda down. And there we go. Leda spends his bank. It is spent. What you see, what you get. Sharp still has a control group. Honestly, Leda probably doesn't know the bank, although he should kind of know the score. Leda just needs to massage this and go for it, because, I mean, obviously, if Leda doesn't win decisively, Sharp wins the game. But, so I feel like Leda just needs to go for it. I mean, he could draw this out however long he wants, I think, because I doubt Sharp's just going to be like, YOLO! And A move, because, I mean, if he had a terrible fight, he would lose. Alright, here, so I don't know what Leda is doing. Is Leda gonna try to play for a stalemate? God, I hope not. Like, try to force it so that any fight Sharp takes is so inefficient that Sharp is just not willing to take it. So I guess Leda spent all his... Interesting. So Leda spent all his money, which basically allowed Leda to say, well, fuck it, I don't care about any of my bases anymore, because I'm not gonna make anything else. So... yeah. So I guess Sharp is just gonna very slow push Lita and force about the end. Yeah, I guess that's how Sharp can do this. Sharp has money. He can keep making stuff. He can Yamato away the tank lines, inch his tanks forward, corner Lita, use the tanks to get rid of most of the turrets, and then force a fight. I guess that's how you do it if you're Sharp. So I guess with tanks, it's kind of hard to force a stalemate. That's what I'm thinking. But I think Sharp can prevent this if what Lita is actually trying to do is force a draw. Because I think with the amount of, especially with the amount of bank he has, you know, if Lita just Yamato's, if Sharp just Yamato's tanks, although these D-matrices, man. Oh man, holy shit. Alright, so, but if Sharp gets rid of all the tanks, then I feel like Sharp can just kind of creep forward. So there's the last battlecruisers of Lita coming across the map to link up. But I guess the other thing, though, is that Leta has a lot of supply in battlecruisers, so he can also Yamato Sharp's tanks. And out a little too far. There goes the battle. Oh, no. But again, he can't repair, so that's still... Oh, that was actually a dead battlecruiser from Sharp there. What a drawn-out game. It's been a while since I've seen a TVT like this. Oh... Honestly, I feel like Leta is getting the better of the Yamatos just subtly, but certainly when the Goliaths are involved, Sharp has gotten way better of those engagements. Leta's in his head, Leta's probably just still like, wow. Did I really just lose that from the position I was in? I mean, think back to that position. He had 2/3 of the map pushed away. He literally, it was within inches of sieging Sharp's 4th. He was 30 or 40 supply ahead. Oh! Oh! That was an EMP, boys. That was a fucking EMP. But Sharp throws away another battlecruiser. I mean, Sharp is being a little bit sloppy with his battlecruisers. Also, his number of battlecruisers has really decreased. In fact, Lita might just go for it here. Although he can't really afford to because he's going to lose most of his fleet. Oh, that's a good EMP for Sharp. Or EMP, good Yamato. But another counter Yamato for Leta. And both players just kind of unwilling to... We're at, what, 15 minutes of this kind of almost stalemate battlecruiser situation? Wow, Leta is really spam clicking those battlecruisers, keeping them clustered together, huh? Interesting. Alright, so the map is very close to mined out here for Sharp. I wonder if Sharp will kill off all of his SCVs. Yeah, I would like to see kind of a scan and clone and just pick off the remaining 4 tanks. And then just kind of creep forward. Try to, anyway. And he was thinking about it. But he had to back up because, well, the threat of Leta's battlecruisers and all that. That vessel's so low on health, it's not going to land an EMP. Oh, I lied. Holy EMP, Batman. Leta, that was so sloppy. I didn't get every battlecruiser, but it got, like, a control group, which is a shitload. Okay, Sharp, bro, get a handle. All right, I guess Sharp has said, you know what, I'm going for it. This looks like a YOLO swag. Sharp should probably micro his Goliath a little bit more than that. Oh, he's going to move the tanks forward here. All right, let's see. Actually, this is going very, very good right now, though, for Leta. The Goliaths are just evaporating, and I don't think that many battlecruisers have died. Now, of course, if he clears out all of Leta's stuff, that's nice, but the battlecruisers need to retreat. Let's see how many will die. Not that many. That fight went crazy good for Leta, at least in terms of battlecruiser numbers. Now, Leta lost a lot of supply, but now fighting at the turrets is Sharp, and of course, Sharp is going to have a massive remax available. How many are going to be left over at the end of this, though? And is this a decisive enough victory for Leta? I like how Sharp is doing this, is kind of retreating, forcing Leta to eat turret shots. This is really nice, and Leta is definitely going for it. Yeah, I think it's going to be okay for Sharp as he continues to reinforce here. Leta has, like, what, 11 left? But he's just letting the turrets go to work and soften up these battlecruisers as he pumps out another control group. And as long as he gets those battlecruisers out, it basically becomes an A-move situation. Look at the extra Goliath. I think we finally forced the fight. It did go well for Leta, but it didn't go well enough. Although the Goliaths on the ground are going to be a bit weak here. So now we're going to have this battlecruiser fight, but there's going to be more. It looks like the numbers are thinning here. Target firing going down, getting rid of the weakened BCs. And what will be left here, probably 3 or 4 BCs. The tanks on the ground are doing work. There will be a slight BC advantage for Lita, but given that all of the starports of Sharp are going to be running full time, we'll see that getting cleaned up, and the game will go to Sharp at almost an hour in length. Now, I don't think Sharp is this crazy good, but if Sharp intentionally fought that fight a little bit shitty so that Lita would think he had his chance, that would be wild. That's one of those things you'll never know for sure, but I mean, obviously, Lita is dead. I think Lita's probably just hoping that Sharp doesn't have a bank, but then when these battlecruisers come over, Lita... There we go. GG. Almost an hour long. Sharp fights his way back from a horrible start that all started with 2 vultures from Lita, putting him up at a significant advantage, and Lita looked great for the first 10, 12 minutes, and then it was the Sharp show all the way down. Congrats to Sharp. Good game. Clutch when he needed to be. Now Saxery gets a chance to hold the weight of the world on his hands. Sharp with a Sharp banner. Nobody said TVT was boring. These people that say TVT are boring, they honestly make me kind of, I don't know, cringe or whatever. TVT's good. I mean, like I said, I've said before, low-level TVT can be pretty bad. Some TVTs can be bad, but TVT's a pretty damn good... Holy shit. I know I had my camera set up for when it was dark, but that's almost comical. Just laughing at this. Okay, let's fix this video. All right. That's a little more sane right there. Oh, but I want to go... Which way do I want to go? More this way. It's like there's no real good option. I can make the light go away from the window, but now my face doesn't exist. Or I can be slightly angelic. I guess that's... Holy shit. Which settings to use? I guess that's reasonable, right? That seems okay. Do I want to change this at all? Maybe just slightly? I don't know if that matters. Not really. Alright, we'll call that our daytime camera settings, I guess. that was almost comically lit up. Alright. So, Saxery versus C. Better hope that C is hella out of practice. Yeah, I'm back at the folks' house here for Christmas. They get to be subjected to Brood War casting. They just have to listen to these endless casts of something they know nothing about. Oh, this has been a long series, especially since we started late. I generally hate Terran players. Xenosky, you were pretty decent, right? B minus, B somewhere in there? Aware of me on how good you got and where your skill peaked out at. Like I think of you as at least a blue rank, but you can aware me on exactly. Yeah, Sharp's gotten good. He's another one of those players that's put in the hard work and has kept inching his way up. He might be the next Larva. I really like those kind of players that do that just keep practicing when everyone else kind of rests on their laurels and suddenly get good. And Sharp is definitely one of those players. Sharp and Larva are probably the two... Well, Larva is, and Sharp is becoming the shining examples of those kind of players. Although both still need Star League victories if they want to really ascend to peak skill level. You know? Also, hello, Tangard, and of course, hello, Tupacalypse. It was really bad. So I was watching the ASL wildcard matches the other day, and you know, it was, I guess, the channel of Sharp, right? And he was kind of like commenting, but like very low key, talking over it. And I was like, this guy who's talking about these matches because it's all in Korean, like, I was like, he looks familiar. Looks familiar. I can't quite pin him down, but he looks familiar. And then they showed Sharp's face, and I realized it was Sharp after like 2 games of Sharp versus Rain, and I was like, Fuck. I should have known that. Instafan after his ASL semifinal games. Yeah, those were good games. Those were good games. All right, so poor Saxry though, to have the weight of the world on your shoulders like that. Oof, oof. I think it's time. There we go. We have it. Saxry versus TL friend, former TL player, and ultimate troll C. All right, so in the bottom portion here of, what is this, Tau Cross? We have, as the red Zerg, Saxry. And in the top position at 9 o'clock, as the blue Terran, we have C. Yeah, you could tell that win in the semis meant a hell of a lot to Sharp to finally get to the finals. Now we'll see if he can keep getting better or if he kind of rests. Although he hasn't won anything, so he might still be hungry. And Larva, I felt like for the longest time Larva was still hungry, but I don't know if Larva just ended up suffering from the I got my face bopped in by Flash too many times frustration. And of course, I mean, he does have a kid now and stuff, so, you know, that changes things for sure. All right, so let's see how this game goes. It's not going to be an 8 racks from C, and Saxry has done the extractor trick here. Interesting, interesting. And going out to scout quite early. Is he going to proxy a hatchery or something crazy? This drone is doing weird things. I mean, it could just be scouting the center too. But, okay. Okay. I guess we're just scouting the center. A proxy hatchery would have been pretty sick, but I guess we're not going to get that. In fact, we're just going to get a 12 hatch here from Saxry. And we'll see what Saxry has in mind. And like I said, I'll be curious to see where C's at. I really don't know what to expect from him. I have honestly not followed the sidebar that closely to see how much he's been streaming. So I'm just not sure what kind of shape he was in. I know there was a long period of time where he wasn't doing much playing at all. And I said I don't expect. So Saxry getting the quick gas. Was that gas before pool? I don't see a pool, I don't think. Unless it's very tucked by the minerals. Yeah, it was gas before pool. Okay, so Saxry going very fast gas. Maxing out that layer timing. Oh, okay. Good. Let's run that drone away. Nice. So we're going to have very fast tech here from Saxry, which is a good way to play. You know, just go for it. Hope you can trick C and fuck him up early. And get him out of this game. And force an ace match. Imagine if Saxry wins this. And then we get like an hour-long ace match. That would be a hell of a day. I'm just going to keep casting until it's the evening here. Even though it's 8 a.m. right now. Been going since 5 a.m. So spawning pool's on the way, and we'll see insta-lair from Saxry. And this drone is continuing to move around to weird places. I really want to know what Saxry's up to. C is going to go second racks before gas. Fake lift on that racks, fake set down. Instead, we'll lift back up again. And, okay, morphs the Nair at the latch. That was pretty cool. I love when that stuff happens. Morphs the lair at the natural. It's not morphs the Nair at the lateral. So, yeah. Just to not let C see the exact timing. I mean, C will have a pretty good idea, but he doesn't have the specific timing 100% there. And Lings are out. Now, did Saxry get Ling speed? I was not watching the gas, and unfortunately it is a live game, so we don't have any way to know. I'm assuming he will. It'd be kind of weird if he didn't. Lings with speed can be very useful in any situation, whether it's for a lurker bust and jumping in to surround those bunkers. Oh, okay. Never mind. I thought that Ling maybe could have gotten in, but Saxry did not think so, and turns it around. And we'll see if C's going to hide Marines, try to do something weird. Don't know. I'm going to assume Saxry probably got speed. It'd be so weird if he didn't. Because either with Muta, Lings are nice for flooding in, for picking off turrets, running in the natural, those kind of things. And with Lurker, then obviously they have good offensive capability as well. And the Academy is up here for C. The bunker is about to finish, so that's good defensively. It is going to be a Spire play here. Looks like we do have Link speed out now. They appear to be moving pretty quickly around that minimap. And that second gas. So very aggressive 2-hatch Muta play here coming up from Saxry. Is he going to run in here? No, probably not. He will split his Lings off. But C is pretty prepared for this. Terran's gotten pretty good at dealing with this kind of stuff now. You just kind of slightly divert your Marines in response to Zerg's movements. And it's forward. Picks off one Ling. Just one, though. Okay. Runs forward, but there's a med. There's a med, so Saxry will have to pull back. And, of course, a lot of this 2-hatch Muta stuff comes down to how does this first group do. Although this is actually out fast enough because he did the 2 racks that he's forcing Sunkens, which is... That's a big win for C, in all honesty. That's a big win. Because that will... Well, actually, Saxry's still going to have enough money to make the full complement of Muta. Tries to run by, but there are 2 Firebats there to kind of divert the possibility of that. And will 2 Sunkens be enough? I believe so. The Muta should be out in time, especially with C moving around. But sometimes these little groups here, especially with 2 Firebats, can tear through 2 Sunkens with surprisingly minimal losses. You know, the DPS of that Marine medic group can take down a Sunken pretty easily. But now the Muta is going to come out here for Saxry, and it'll be all down to the control here and what C does with this first group. I mean, you see sometimes Terrans move out with the first group, although now that there's 2 Sunkens down, I don't think we'll see C pressure. I think we'll just see him defend, gather up a larger group of Marine and medic, and go put pressure on, or depending if he chooses to tech fast and wait for those vessels. But it appears the answer for C here is going to be heavy on the rack, so I think we're just going to see C defend, wait till he gets 2 or 3 groups of Marine medic, and then move out on the map and give Saxry a hard time that way. So in come the Muta, picks off the SCV building that turret, although C will just be able to send another SCV and get that turret up. C does have some turrets over the barracks, so that's nice for blocking reinforcements, and Saxry really needs to get reinforcing Muta here. Good initial Marine pickoff, gets 1 more, and just needs to Muta micro to save his life. He's already gotten 3 good ones. He has not lost a Muta, although one is in that deep blue zone of terror where, you know, you get too many Mutas like that and they just start to evaporate every time they run in. It'll look good. It'll look like you have this big scary clump, and then whatever. Oh, shit. Yeah, thanks for reminding me that I was not full screen. Good call. My bad. So Saxry flying around here, looking for his opening. Going to pick off a few SCVs here in the mineral line. Of course, with 2-hatch Muta, it's less about killing the SCVs. I mean, if you can start doing crazy damage to the mineral line, it's nice. But if you don't reduce the Marine count, Terran just gets way too many Marines and moves out. We can see Saxry's taking that top base. Now, is he going to go heavy Muta? Is he going to go for the Hive, Guardian Devourer thing? Is he going to get Lurker? Is he just going to try to YOLO Muta Ling all in? I'd like to see a shot of the base to get a feel. Diving in now. Going to get one. No. C's repair is too fucking good. So that is a big loss for Saxry. I mean, 1 turret's nice, but not really worth it. And losing another Muta like that is very sloppy. And C feeling confident enough to get out on the map now. Saxry appears to be really committing to this counter-harass. But again, the repair from C is very good. And now C is going to pick off another Muta. He weakens another one, and Saxry's reaction way late. Panic Sunken's going down here for Saxry, and C looking very, very scary. It's looking like C is possibly going to be able to close this out here shortly, although this group is actually a bit small. If a few more Muta link up here, Saxry will be able to dive on that and clean this out. So Saxry pivots around, picks off a couple of the Marines, and the group almost small enough now to just straight up engage. Yep, now small enough. He should be able to camp this, bring a few more Muta back, camps it, so he cleans up that group. So that's a bit of a loss for C, but C has this other group here, kind of working its way towards the top right, and if Saxry's not aware of it, and I don't know if he is, it looks like he is. At least he's moving his Muta in such a way that he'll be able to deal with it. I think he's got to be aware of it. Doesn't make any sense to move your Muta over there like that. So Saxry is going to try to defend his third using his Muta. Another one, though. Saxry, boy. That's a lot of donations. That's a lot of donations. I mean, he's still doing okay. The group is small here. It's getting whittled down. He's picking them off in a line. He will get rid of this group. So C overextending a bit and paying the price for that. And the fact that Saxry gets to hold his third is very nice. And C is being punished for being a little too confident here, but he is on his way towards tank and vessels, and we haven't seen what the tech path is from Saxry. And remember, C has traded okay. I mean, you don't, as a Terran, you don't like to get pinned back, lose all your Marines and medics, lose your offensive potential, and now Saxry is going to move to camp the turrets. 2 are going to go down really fast. Will the third one go down? The repair is there for C. A lot of Marines. Looks like he will get the turret, so then he can move to harassing the SCVs, and these Marines are here without a medic. So very vulnerable, but Saxry is just going to move back for the moment. Commentators are losing their mind. I'm not sure what is so exciting about a vessel. Yeah, it's not like they suddenly showed us like 3 Valkyries or something like that. But Saxry's getting some good harass done here. Picking off, what, another 3 SCVs maybe? Yeah, another 3, there we go. Might even pivot back for a 4th. Oh, Saxry, come on. Come on. Oh, the Academy. Terrans are losing their academies a lot nowadays. That's going to be annoying. Well, he's actually not going to... Oh, he's going to try to bounce damage it. Cute. I don't know if he got it with the bounce damage. Nope. So C can actually repair that. Vulture sneaking in here. I guess that's what the commentators were actually so excited about. That makes more sense. But Saxry saw it and was able to make some Hydra over there to defend the Vulture counter pressure. And Saxry going to camp this. Is C in danger of potentially falling behind to Saxry? The Academy goes down. No more medics. And the main of C is suddenly exposed. Now, this vessel is out, but that's just 1 EMP, and that can be split. And there's, like I said, there's no medics, there's no fire bats. C has possibly lost this game, and I guess C really is rusty. I mean, even to be in this position, C's either rusty or crazy cocky. I don't know which one it is. But now we've got Hydra coming across the map. C's desperately trying to run his Marines somewhere safe, but look at the micro. It has been very crisp from Saxry. And, I mean, you do see this a lot from... these amateur Zergs, their Muta Micro in these situations does look very crisp, but there's about to be an irradiate. Let's see how good the split is. Not the fastest split we've ever seen. Unfortunate position in the stack to take that long to split, but now we're going to have the Lurkers coming in. I'll be curious to see if he makes a few lings, perhaps goes for the surround on that bunker. Does C have... Okay, well, that is very good that C has mines. He's going to need that to defend against these Lurkers, and he does have a medic out. Has he rebuilt his academy? Or did he just have that medic from before? Oh, that's a nice find for these vultures, though. That's at least going to give C a heads up that this is coming, but C is getting ravaged here in the main. Only has a few SCVs, continuing to transfer some back, continuing to lose them. Does not have control over this at all. Has enough Marines and Medic to maybe gain a little control of it, but now here come the Lurkers into the natural. They can actually burrow at the top, or he's just going to apparently run by everything. Now, can the Muta help camp these Lurkers? Okay, does not get that Marine in the bunker. So now Mutas are going to target the bunker. C's going for the repair, but a Vulture for C has found the third base, and C cleans this up. And another Irradiate goes down, and Saxry goes from looking great to looking kind of shaky. He looks like he did clear the Vultures, though, in the midst of all that micro. Saxry's still holding on to a supply advantage, still has a lot going for him, but C at least averted a potential crisis situation. The economy of C still hurts, but with 2 or 3 vessels, if that vessel count goes up and Saxry can't scourge it, then he starts to have a lot of rating power, can clear that out, although that would be a bit of a concern for C if he just loses a vessel softly like that. No academy, so C still can't build medics, but he will be able to soon. Great mines! Oh! And now we start to see a little bit of the amateurism of Saxry here being exposed, and C's experiences as a pro serving him well, just being smart about the way he handles this, and Saxry being a little bit too eager. A little bit too, okay, I can win, and starting to throw away units, getting hasty, a little too one-track in his vision and in his decision-making. Now he still has plenty of Lurkers. I mean, he's still got a lot of stuff. The biggest concern for Saxry is the fact that C is starting to build up a vessel count. You know, if C had just Marines and Medics, it would still be amazing for Saxry. But with 3 vessels now, you can start to irradiate Lurkers, you can start to break positions. You know, the good Muta Micro can still do a lot if he focuses the irradiate on the Lurkers. You know, there's not this overwhelming vessel count, but it's enough to be scary. And on the way to Hive, and these Lurkers here now going to burrow down. And, there's even a tank with this. I like this. So this is basically a scary Terran push. Basically a scary Terran push here that Saxby has to deal with, and he doesn't have Hive to deal with this. Now, there's only one tank, so he can pick it off. He can pick it off. Okay, so Irradiates immediately go down on those two lurkers. And will there be any lurkers at home? Saxby desperately needs to morph some lurkers at home. Creeps are not going to be enough. He's trying to stall for time with that one, and he is going to bring lurkers back. Perhaps a flank can do the trick, but there aren't many Lings in this composition. Now, there are still some Muta, some Scourge. He can at least get a Vessel with good Scourging, but the tank now in range of the Sunken. And the Saving Grace, I guess, for now, for Saxby, we're looking little things. The Defiler round is on the way, so he could maybe buy enough time to kill this. And the other Saving Grace is, well, that was bad from C. Loses a Vessel, kind of sloppy. And now moving down, picks off a few more Muta. And another Irradiate goes down, and that will force those guys away. And now two tanks banging away at the front door here of C. And the question is, can Saxby get out enough units here and flank this? He is getting quite a few lurkers, but there are no Lings in this. Or can he buy enough time for Defilers? It's going to be tight. I think there's a chance he can, but it's definitely going to be tight. The Muta are trying to be used here. Can he get one of these tanks? That's a nice victory if he can get it. Lurkers are going to burrow in range of that, and C commits to running here. Can't save the tank, but C is able to use this here to get a spread and force his way into the natural. We're going to have perhaps the flank here with the Lurkers. He needs some Lings, though, to help make this work, but there's also a drop at the top base. Lurkers are there to defend. Lots of action going on right now. This is a pretty critical moment from Saxby, but C clears the Lurkers at the front, just going to allow him to just run in deeper, and he is now taking out almost everything that Saxby has. The Marines are well spread. C just moves in further towards the Hive. The natural for Saxby is broken. I think Saxby got the better of the drop engagement, and the tank even shooting at the Lurkers. Yeah, Saxby does hold on to his third, but he's going to lose his natural. He's going to lose his Hive, and most of his economy. This looks to be an incredibly strong winning position for C here. I mean, there's a Defiler, but C has the whole base to move around in now. The Saxby's Lurkers right above are going to get slowly cleared out by that tank. And now C into the main base. I doubt he's got Plague, which is really what he would need. C can just split Marines and run. And C is also dropping into the main mineral line. That's going to be too much for Saxby to handle. He's only got one Defiler. He can't be in that many locations at once with his small unit count. And C is going to do it here and close it out for Shinhan in the first leg of this best of 3 of best of 7s, or however you want to think of it. Marines running everywhere. The supply of Saxby down to 31. He's mining from like 6 drones at his third base. C has a full 2-base economy now. He's SCV'd up behind it, as we can even see just looking at his mineral lines. Finally, this bio ball will be cleared. Saxby probably won't GG until he's fully and truly dead. It is, of course, the last set. As is custom Korean tradition here, we don't see GG until you're really, really, really dead, especially when it's the deciding match. But yeah, Saxby was so close there. He was doing so much work. And then he came into the natural. Oh, we're even going to have an eraser here to finish off the drones. Okay, that's enough to force it. GG is called. C takes the game. And with it, Shinhan takes a 1-0 lead in the series. Yeah, that was going so well for Saxby. Holy APM Batman. Jesus Christ, the spam on that. I can't even imagine that. And I mean, a lot of that's done while microing. He must spam click his mutas like crazy, or cycle like crazy the entire time he micros to get that kind of APM. That's crazy. So a very happy C does work. But yeah, those when he ran in all the way with those 3 lurkers and lost them, that was the first point. And then when those next 3 lurkers died to mines, that was the nail in the coffin. I mean, had Saxby played that better, for sure could have won. Unfortunately, did not work out that way. Again, amateur versus ex-pro. Too often the difference shows. Too much experience, too much craft. Even though C looked rusty. And there you have it. The 4-0 in favor of Shinhan. And that is going to be all for today's series. So thanks for watching, guys. And I will see you next time, aka in like, what, 20 hours or something like that, for leg number 2 of this. Can Afreeca come back and get some vengeance? We'll find out later. Bye-bye.